I was even reluctant to promote Aliyah in a Hyperion TV server
Hmm.
after the shit she pulled.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
that's something that I also should probably talk about. She was 17, you were 21.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
What?
something I really want to bring up anymore because
Wait,
she was
whoa,
she was
what
worse.
just? Wait. You were acting
It was
inappropriate
worse.
with a
Actually,
minor?
she was manipulative.
That's like a 4-year age difference. That is unacceptable, pups. I
I
mean,
will bring up the fact that she was a piece of shit.
that doesn't change it. That's not
I-
appropriate.
Okay, so here's what happened.
Hey, you guys may be wondering why am I making a video on somebody who I've said several times like a sister to me. Well, after this call, she just kept continuing with her shit. She kept blaming the server for everything wrong in her life. She said that she's never rejoining because, I took away her admin status for abusing her power constantly, banning right wing members, muting them, timing them out, and everything else, again, simply because of right wing, much of what Peebles did. And was what got Peebles removed from the server, and everybody in the server seems to agree that Pups has done far worse abuse of power than, again, Peebles ever did. She continued suicide baiting in DMs almost every day, accusing me of random shit nonstop for no fucking reason. Some of them, the one that broke the camel's back, was accusing me of recently getting her personal information and tracking her because she got a newsletter about suicide from a hospital, which was clearly not directed at her, but she said went into detail about events in the server, which I will, put up on screen here, and it looks like your typical normal newsletter. And that's about it. I don't know. She wouldn't stop. She kept getting worse and worse and worse. Everybody in the server had issues with her, and I tried to keep, my issues at bay. I'm very neutral. This has been going on for months where, tensions have been building, and I do my usual, well, let's just let them deal with their shit, but enough is just enough. Here's the call. I really couldn't care less at this point.
Hey there, I saw you called me. I'm so sorry. I was editing a video.
It's all good. We're going to be doing the call in about 10-15 minutes.
All right, thank you for letting me know. All right. So who's coming? Is it just you, me, Talon?
No, it's just
Pup?
you, me, Pups, and Pups is mediator of choice.
Could we maybe have I was gonna say, could we have I was gonna say, is Blixie gonna be in or
I don't think Blixie's online right now.
if you can do me a favor, see if you can collect statements from Talon, Blixie, and Snark and mention them as well. I don't mind being a mediator, but like I said, my things I'm gonna mention is mainly like the Loon Star comment, Loon Star stuff, and I'll let you pretty much take the lead.
Okay.
As I will say, you probably should stay in the call, but when you say a Senate call, like, is it anything goes? Is it, or is it gonna be like like an observatory call where no like death threats kind of thing?
Well, I guess more like Senate in the way that there's technically an audience, even if it's only you and one other person.
All right. Do you want to set up an auditorium for that? I guess
Alright.
where people can listen, because you can do that on your server, but I would say the only rules we should have is like no death threats. Like otherwise, if there's death threats, the call is over. You know, because I don't want like pups to like threaten to kill you or threaten to kill themselves.
Oh, they
You know,
already tried sympathizing or sympathy baiting me today, saying I almost killed myself last night. Right after I told them, quit threatening your life. You know that I have trauma related to. Also, my tongue is swollen beyond belief, so talking hurts. But I told them, hey, I have trauma with suicide, and they're immediately like, well, I tried to kill myself last night, and it's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You talked about it. About mixing glass cleaner with condiments, of all things.
yeah, and I reported that comment because I don't, like I said, for for suicide and violence. Because, like, as I would say, I don't like. It sounds. I know you think it's not like a real concoction, but like it's kind of. What I'm saying is I'm worried that it's gonna sound like a terrorist threat. You know, like Al Qaeda or 764 type thing. Alrighty, I'm gonna vacuum a little bit. It might take me a little bit, but tag me and then set up the stage so Pups, yourself, Joyce, and I can talk. If anyone, just tell anyone they can listen.
So Pups chose Dylan.
Oh,
so
okay. Is it gonna be a gallery call or a?
I'm just gonna do it in a GC.
Okay, so not a gallery call.
No. You and Dylan are essentially audience unless required.
Yes, of course. Yeah, like I said, like also like I will say, like I don't mind, like maybe like not after this, but maybe sometime after, like talking to Bloodlord one-on-one, and then I have some questions for him.
Okay. Yeah,
nothing like offensive, but like it's more like a kind of like a interview of sorts to kind of like give my grievance relievance kind of thing. If Bloodlord wants to, if he doesn't, then, you know, I'm fine. Either way, I don't really care. But anyways, I'm going to vacuum. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay. When you're done vacuuming, give me a thumbs up. If it's 1:55 or past then my time, so 7 minutes, I'll start the GC.
All right. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. There's just a couple crumbs around.
Okay. All
right, I'll see you.
See ya.
Get ready. I'm setting everything up.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I have to route the audio through my SD3, and then I'll be good.
All right. If Dylan doesn't come on, I guess I don't mind being a neutral party. Between you two, I'm
gonna ping Dylan to join.
All right. I'll let you guys get set up. In the meantime, Neil, could you tell us what the call's gonna be like, just so we can have a gauge of what's going to happen?
Okay, I need to talk to Pups about what they've been doing recently. Because every
time... I meant the style of call.
Hold on.
The style of call is I'm just gonna say what's happened. Because
okay, so like
this is actual bullshit.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna lay down some ground rules. Kind of basic they're kind of like, this is kind of like a sentence style call, but more so like Carmen Writer's Observatory kind of call. So ground rules for YouTube: no death threats are allowed.
Okay.
If there's any death,
it does not need to be taken to YouTube.
Yeah, this doesn't need to be public. And like I said, like if this. Like I said, the moment someone says, "Oh, I will kill you," or "I will hurt you," then this call is over. We can't be, doing that stuff, and we're adults.
Okay.
That goes for everyone in this call. If I make a death threat, I'm gonna be booted. I'll boot myself in the call. What's fair is fair.
Okay. Hold on. I need to change the path of where things.
Okay, set it up. In the meantime, I'm gonna get myself some water. Okay. All right. Hey, Dylan. Perfect.
Done.
So what I'm gonna do. Okay, so Dylan, I just laid down some of the ground rules. Basically, the short of it is no death threats. The moment someone says, "Oh, I will kill you," the call's over, and the rules apply for everybody in the call. Here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if Neil's gonna think this is a good idea. I'm gonna put a timer for each one of us to talk. You'll have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to talk. Is that fair? And if you're a little over, I'll give you 1 more minute just to finish it up, but you have to land the plane. And then Pups, Neil, do you call heads or tails?
What?
Heads or tails? Tails. Heads. Okay. I'm gonna do best out of 3. Whoever I pick will go first.
Okay.
Flip a coin.
Are we being accused just because of what happened yesterday?
It's literally been going on for over a week.
Okay.
Every time Pups has had any criticism, she has come to me and threatened her life in DMs.
Alrighty. So it was heads twice, so Noah gets to start. You have 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Alright, first thing that I want to talk about. So, Pups, you said that Tal was relentlessly going at you, trying to convince you to rape Dylan. I've already sent Tal the call where you said that. He has already seen it. Tal's version is he mentioned some kind of sex toy once if you and Dylan didn't want to touch each other. And on top of that, I don't mean to be that guy, but Dylan, Pups has several times over the last 4 or 5 years, this has started from when I met you guys, gone into my DMs, messaging me about how much they want to fuck you up the ass. They've wanted to involve diapers at one point. I believe that was 2022. And
That was
a few
never.
other things.
Wait, what? I don't think I ever said that.
Pup.
What?
I don't think I
Pups.
That
said
was
that.
back in the VC in 2022.
Pups.
I don't. When did I say that?
That was back in the call in 2022 that we had.
Pups.
I don't remember ever saying that.
Let Nils respond and let Nils speak. You'll get to respond next.
Would you like for me to go back onto my old account and see if I can find any text of it?
I don't think I ever said that. Did I?
You did.
Although I don't really have that much memory of 2022, but like.
So I just want to say with how often you talk about wanting to have sex with Dylan, not only in the adult chat, not only with me in DMs, but you've even said it in my server in VC with people. I've been there to witness this. Is it not fair to assume that Tal assumed you guys were intimate?
We've tried once, but it never went anywhere. That was in 2019.
Okay.
And that was far back as I remember.
That was my first statement, was asking about that. So
but it never really happened.
What's your next statement?
No, it's Pups' turn.
It is? Okay. Okay. Let me reset the timer. You had like you had 50 seconds left, Nils. So Pups, give me 1 second.
Later, Dylan said, which I'm gonna paraphrase because it was long. It was a long comment. But Dylan's own words were, he said that something about it being non-consensual if I fucked him once. So I think that's why I said it was Dylan's words, not mine. And your DMs knew.
Can I ask a follow-up question, Pups? When was this comment?
It was about 2-ish weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
It was word that I was going to do something non-consensual with him, but I told him that I very well might be on the ace spectrum anyways, and that I'm not really that comfortable with fucking in the long run anyways. So.
Okay. I mean, I have some comments about that, but like, I'm not ace, so I'm gonna reserve those comments. But go on.
My whole thing is, I thought Dylan wanted an intimate relationship, but he's been kind of against that as of late, but he's been kind of on the fence, as far as I'm aware. So he's been kind of reluctant to fuck, which that's that's why we haven't done that yet.
So it's
I think it's because both Dylan and I have been CSA survivors. But neither of us have been really that comfortable fucking anyways. He said so Dylan's own words were he thought that I would non-con him if I did that. So I don't think we're ever going to have that level of relationship anyways.
Okay, I'm gonna pause the timer to do a quick interjection here. I'm gonna have to strongly disagree. When you're in a relationship with somebody, like, preferably like from my standards, you have sex after you're married, but when you're in a relationship with somebody, sex is kind of expected.
what?
Unless
Not always. Some
Dude,
not
people,
not always. I'm
Sweet.
not always, but like it's kind of like an unspoken rule. Like whether it's like like physical contact or do you guys like ERP?
Oh my god,
we
Brad.
have, but I really don't want
This?
to go deep into that.
Okay, I just wanted to ask. Okay, like I said,
Shut the fuck up and stay out of this, okay? You have no right to control a relationship.
I don't want
You
to
have
talk
no
about
right
it.
to control. Everyone shut up,
don't-
okay? And listen. No
I
one
don't-
has any right to control a relationship except me and Chris.
That's why we chewed out Tao about it.
Don't think you can speak on my behalf. I wasn't
I'm not-
groomed
I'm
or
not
anything.
speaking-
We both figured it out. No, shut up. I'm
don't
going
want
to
to talk
let me
about-
talk. All right. Don't think you and either of you can speak on our behalf.
I'm
we don't
literally not
want to have
speaking
sex.
on your
That's the
behalf.
thing.
What my
I'm not
point was
either.
going to
I
be-
wasn't-
Okay, continue.
Neither of us groomed each other. Neither of us did anything non-consensual to each other. If I told her to stop, she would obey. We both agreed in the end that intimacy wasn't a thing for us, and we both decided to go in the asexual route.
Okay.
What my
If I
point
can,
is, Brad, because I'm going to speak.
go
What
ahead.
my point I was
If you have
trying
a
to say
problem
for-
with this, leave the group.
Okay.
Okay, nobody's
No,
nobody's saying that you or Pups are trying to groom each other. That is taking a statement to the next level.
Well, this feels
What
like an
I-
interrogation.
Just let Nil speak, please.
2 weeks ago was April 19th. Assuming that the 19th you guys agreed on this, that's the same day that Tal asked Pups about the sex toys, which actually lines up with Tal's story that they had just found out that Pups and you don't have an intimate relationship and brought it up.
It was the day of or the day after.
Which was something that was left out.
I thought I told them.
No, not to them, to me. When you went to me about this.
I thought I told them the day after, but I guess they didn't hear me.
The next thing I want to get on, Pups. Every time this week that there's been a slight criticism your way, you have gone to my DMs, sympathy baited me, and I'm not saying that your past isn't your past, I'm not saying it's not traumatizing. What I'm saying is, you seem to pick and choose when you want to vent about it, to be whenever anybody gives you criticism, and then you threaten your life. I have told you several times, I had a friend who I let die when I was 17 because I didn't stop them. Anytime suicide is brought up, my fight or flight kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
And this entire week you've threatened your life to me no more than 5 separate occasions.
Could I make a quick comment too? Also, Pups, you kind of said it in the group server. You went into very graphic detail about wanting to make basically, from my perspective, a chemical bomb to kill yourself with. That's kind of disturbing.
What?
Not just to you said you wanted to put Windex with a bunch of condiments in it and make basically what looks like
a glasses cleaner, but
I know, but that's kind of for that's very traumatizing, not just to know, but to others in that server who might be dealing with that stuff. That's kind of disturbing. are you okay? I'm not saying
not at all.
are you okay like in a condescending way? Like, are you okay? Like, did you need to talk? Like, is everything all right?
I have not been okay for like over a decade. So
Alrighty. Yeah, like I said, like
I have not had a safe home for over a decade. I've been stuck with a
I think the
father
moment
that
we move in,
absolutely fucking hates
I'm
me.
going to drag her to not only a therapist, but maybe go into couples therapy because this is
okay,
going too far for her.
okay, yeah, because that's
I
one of
have
the things I
lived
was
with
gonna
an
say.
abusive father for over a fucking decade. So
Okay.
I
But
he only turned abusive in 2008.
but what Nils feeling is like kind of like really when you do that, it's not cool, you know? Like Septipaz did that to Nil, is that correct? Nil, are you there still?
Yeah, but Septipause was different. Pups, when it's criticism, always goes into I'm going to kill myself mode. Septi would force me to do shit by threatening their life because they knew about my fight or flight. So,
I
no,
didn't
it's
really
not to
know
the
about
same
it.
levels.
I didn't know about it. That's the thing.
I've been open about this to everybody for like 5 years.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know that.
Either that or it's the memory loss from every single concussion I've gotten over the years.
Okay, that I can accept. I actually know what that's like from
Mhm.
personal
And
experience.
this might be humiliating for me, but the sheer amount of concussions have caused excessive bedwetting. So
Okay.
that's been an issue.
Um, to kind of go off what Nil was saying, I kind of noticed like when like because Nil, myself, Blixie, and Talon, we kind of have like kind of right wing like beliefs
And
and stuff,
Snark.
which and Snark, but like I said, whenever
Talk
we have,
less about that. It's
I know, but like you kind of like shut up or you just like leave the call whenever we bring them up. As I will say, I've Talon and I got into an argument. I don't like Donald Trump, but I don't think that I'm not gonna leave the call just because I disagree with his opinion, or
because more often than not, I don't want to hear about politics that day.
We hate his guts anyway.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say everyone in this call hates Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Like
I
I'm
except
the
Hal,
most. Yeah.
except Hal and maybe Snark, but I don't. I really don't want to be hearing about politics every single day, so that's why I leave the call.
well, Talon, if I can make a
Talon.
suggest. Sorry, pups. If sorry, I'm studying. Pups, if I can make a meaningful suggestion, sometimes maybe okay to say this bluntly, you should express that boundary. You know.
Yeah, but like, I think it's too little, too late now.
Okay, but like it's never too late to express a boundary. Like if you express to say, "Hey, I don't want to talk about this," please and thank you. And
I've been
if they
pushing it
continue
into
on,
the
then you
file
can
for
leave the
no
group
server.
call.
Like, what route do I have now to even talk about it?
Okay, but Nil, can you? Nil, what do
You
you
can just.
think? Do you think?
I think Pups can just say to Tal and Snark like, "Hey, don't bring up politics when I'm in VC."
Yeah, literally just that. Like,
It's not like I'm going to be in VC there anymore, anyways.
okay,
Yeah,
there we
yeah,
go. There we go again.
yeah, because every time anybody has given you criticism, the first time that you did this, Blixie said CP instead of CSAM, and I remember you said in the call before you left, anybody who's actually gone through that shit would know not to call it that. And then you accused Blixie of making fun of your grooming, and then you accused Blixie of saying that you had a choice. And I had to talk to
Yeah.
Blixie about that.
It's because
But remember, you said anybody who's been through that would know the correct terminology. Blixie is also a CSA survivor. So am I.
Yes.
We just use a different term. Blixie has been he has talked about this so many times in front of you.
He's not ever.
Yes, he
done
has.
that.
In my server. Like 4 different occasions.
He has not ever said anything about this to me. Ever.
Okay, maybe not to you, but he's talked about it. Like,
Or never in my presence. I didn't know.
or you weren't paying attention. Like, it kind of feels like I hate to use my dad's term. It kind of feels like you're using what's called selective hearing. Do you have a problem with like selectively
Or
hearing things?
maybe I'm not always at my computer when people are talking.
Sure. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt there, but sometimes it. Nil, is this fair to say? Like sometimes it kind of feels like you have from what Nil's describing. It kind of feels like you have sometimes selective hearing. Is that fair to say, Nil?
I think honestly it might just be the autism, and I'm not trying to be rude. I also have autism.
Most of us,
Be overstimulating.
all 4 of us have it.
Yeah, but like sometimes I'm not at my computer. Sometimes I'm making food.
Okay, but like that's deflecting what Nil's point is. Like Blixie has said it. Like he doesn't. Like I said, like Blixie doesn't talk about because, like I said, as Nil and I were talking about it last night, he says like he kind of got over it.
I have never really gotten over the fact that the person who did that to me forced me to defile myself on fucking camera.
Right. I'm not saying that's okay. That's obviously horrible. Like, like that's one of the evilest things anyone could commit, but forcing somebody to a term that they don't care to use is removing their agency with their situation.
And he basically said that he would do it would hurt my family if I had not. He was blackmailing me.
Okay, but we're talking about. I'm not like.
No, it's okay to let Pups talk about this because.
Sorry.
If.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
It was basically a classmate that was blackmailing me. So I was trying to avoid him in class, and my fucking director / principal was trying to force me to be around him, and I was trying to avoid him because he was causing problems for me, and it was just I told her I don't want to be around this person, investigate him. She was actively resisting it, so I forced her hand by screaming it in the hallway.
Right, and that's horrible. That's obviously horrible. I'm very sorry that happened to you, Pups.
Said, you're going to investigate your scout, or I'm going to bring it up to my parents. And she said, I'm going to drop you to red for that. And I said, oh, try it. You're going to have to tell my parents and why, and also my district if you do that. And she'd walk that back immediately because then the school will be investigated.
Right.
So I told her, like, you do that, I fucking dare you. Because you're going to be investigated by the cops. And also by a federal law enforcement. And
honestly, Pups W.
And
yeah.
The judge.
That is
your case.
That is, like I said, obviously, I'm very proud of you for doing that.
And
I hate the school system
because she knew the school would be shut down for it. And also, any other chain of command in the school system would also be investigated for allowing that to happen.
But like I said, obviously stuff like that is horrible.
And I was basically I basically sat in the hallway.
Chris, let him speak.
No. It's Dylan. It's fine. It's totally fine, Dylan.
I basically sat in the hallway, equivalent of "fuck you, High Road," "fuck you, Ceci," "fuck you, everyone." Let me go to Mr. B's room, you fucker.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically the equivalent of what I said.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I need to bring up, though, and I'm not trying to be rude, is when we told you that you should seek therapy for this, you declined it.
Right.
The reason is the last therapist dropped me for scheduling conflicts. I missed 2 sessions in a row because I couldn't make them in time. And the problem is I tried to make the second one. She killed the session before I could do it.
But then you find another therapist.
Yeah, there are many different therapists out there.
I lost my fucking trust in therapists anyways.
Well, I hate to pull a Lio, like to give Pups benefit of the doubt, Nil. Finding a therapist is not that simple, you know.
Oh no, I know I know it's not simple.
The problem is I've got like fucking state insurance. So like I don't have to pay out of pocket for this shit.
Right. I was I wanted to say this earlier, but this is also where I kind of had to agree with Pups. Neil, I know you said you kind of had to kind of get some people need to get over their like trauma and whatever, but like sexual abuse or being a victim when you're sexually abused as a minor, that trauma never ever really truly goes away. You can learn to live with it, but it never goes away.
For me, I just accepted it happened and I moved on.
Yeah, like that's learning to live with it. That's not like
I know not everybody is the same, but for me, like how I got past it was I just said, you know what, it happened. It's part of my past. It's not who I am. And like I can think about being molested again as a kid. It doesn't bother me at all. I can think about Alyssa's having me fucking put on my sister's and mother's clothing on camera for him and strike poses and shit. Mm-hmm. I can think of Locke. Well, I think y'all know who Locke is.
I don't know who that is.
Mr. Glenn.
Okay.
Who, funnily enough, I ran into in the future in Predator Investigations.
Oh, go figure.
I know, I ran into one of my own groomers and it fucked me up for like 6 months, but then I was fine again.
Well, as I will say, you know, I'm not a CSA survivor. I'm an SA survivor. And like I said, you know, I've learned to kind of live with what happened with me. I still get nightmares from it, you know, occasionally. Pups, if I can make a meaningful suggestion, you know, I'm not dismissing what you said. Obviously, what happened to you, it happened to all of us is terrible, but if you like Blixie has kind of said this too, you kind of talk about it a lot, and obviously it's important, but this kind of goes back to the nil point, but like it kind of feels like it's one of the few topics you only really want to talk about.
The thing with me in picking up though is that Pups only usually talks about it when she's getting criticism. I don't know if it's a defense mechanism or if it's a trigger, like when she gets stressed her brain goes back to that time. Mm-hmm. But she genuinely, like, I'm not saying getting a therapist is easy. I'm saying like you need to go out there and look for a therapist close to your area. Like, yeah. I know that you've given up trust in them, but that's like the one thing that's gonna hold you.
It's important to get the help that you need and want, you know. Because you were suicide baiting. Actually, this kind of brings it to point. Dylan, did you see those posts in the server by chance?
Did.
What did you, Dylan? What did you?
He DM'd the shit out of me for him.
I confronted her after. I confronted her for it.
Right.
I literally said he was the one who basically forced my hand to remove them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not very happy about those.
I had to use the override on the bot to remove them because like Dylan was like, do it or
Every time she does this, it's like I don't exist. It's like every time she does this, it's like I don't fucking exist. Like I'm not there for her. She just forgets that I'm there.
How can I ask you, both you two, how often does this happen between you two?
It's been happening since 2021, and there might be a source of it. I think there might be a source of it.
There probably is.
It's the negative. It's the negative energy I've been having since living with my sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I would say, Pups. Those comments on the Discord you were making, all of them were reported. I reported them for suicide and violence because, you know, obviously what happened to you is horrible, but like there are other people in that server that might be triggered by those comments. You know, it's unacceptable.
I think
Like, it's one thing if you're writing down like in a journal just by yourself what you're feeling, but if you're broadcasting it on the internet, people can and will use that against you.
Dude, people still make fun of me for the suicide live stream. Like, they literally will, like, make fun of it.
Thing is that the only thing you're gonna get out of it is a billing address, or like, which may or may not be valid.
What is this in relation to? Sorry.
To the
Like,
report messages. Because,
yeah,
Okay.
or I use a VPN, but like the worst you're gonna get out of it is a billing address, which may or may not be valid.
Well, as far as I'm aware, I don't know, but like I said, I kind of know a little bit about VPNs. I don't know too much, but like I know it kind of masks
Like,
your
looks like
IP address, but it doesn't mask.
Toronto.
But does it mask your device's IP address or just your
Yes.
general IP?
Yeah, no,
That's the idea. That's the idea,
it's the
Brad.
devices and the IP itself. It does both.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that because, like I said, I'm not too familiar with that stuff. But still, pups. I'm gonna
Yeah,
like
it
you know.
literally says, like, when I pull down the top bar, it says Toronto, Canada dedicated IP.
Mm-hmm.
So like I paid for a dedicated IP in NordVPN. So like because
I remember the reason why. It's because Pups' Discord wasn't working without a VPN.
it wasn't working for a while, and then it fixed itself when I removed a specific NAT thing.
Oh,
But I still don't trust my ISP, and I don't trust the fuck out of my I don't trust anything that.
But let's get back on Neil. Let's get back on topic. I think you can take it from here. I've talked long enough.
there have
I'm gonna
also
mute.
been some other things. If I can share my screen. In DMs over the last few weeks. Just have to remember. Makes Dick cry for mercy. Where do we start? Okay. So, this one, very quick. Actually, it goes back further. Because it's the first time when Blixie said CP instead of CSAM. I had to ask you about Blixie. Yeah, right here. I don't mean to be that person, but you didn't need to. Brad brought up Nick Fuentes CSAM allegations. Blixie called it CP. I brought up to Blixie that saying that had yourself and Brad correct me on the term, then you said, saying that it seems like I'd have consented to being groomed and left.
I don't think that was in relation to Nick Fuentes. I think that might have been referencing something else. But
It was,
go
it was a
on.
reference. It was a reference to Blixie saying CP instead of CSAM. It was not a reference at all to Nick Fuentes.
Yes.
Right.
That was the build up to Blixie saying it. You then, for a while, decide to vent about Blixie. Then we go into the Raskow stuff, which I don't think we need to get into. I told you to call Dylan or speak with your parents. You then brought up self-harm. I tried to dissuade you from self-harm. You then said, what's a few scratches or cuts on top of the abuse the school's already done? I had to continue talking you out of self-harm because Blixie said CP instead of CSAM. You then went from self-harm to suicide. And I had to talk you out of suicide. You then tried to convince me that a kid who bullied you tried to kill you.
Which he did. He tried to dump me into the Charles River. And I couldn't
When
swim.
There were adults nearby. You would not have died.
No, the adults were like up the river.
To give pups benefit of the doubt, like when someone drowns, it's very complicated. You don't necessarily go in and jump in to pull to pull them out because they'll drag you under too.
And then the next day, you talked to me about having enough of Snarkfield, and in the past, You tried to say that Snark was trying to force their worldviews on you. I went back, reread those messages. Snark was not trying to force their
It was
worldviews.
basically
They had different political views.
So I didn't have a way to. I almost fell in the Charles River, and I had to recenter the boat. So the student got permabanned from any future trips.
Okay, but like we just that's good to know. But we're
And then I got hydrophobic for like the rest of the school, the rest of my time there. I was afraid of water as a result.
I was gonna say like Pups. You know, despite Snark being right wing, you know they're transgender, right?
I don't think those really match up so well.
Really? What would you call me? I'm right wing. I'm definitely not cis.
It's
Carmen Writer Lolicon is
yes. Unspecified error occurred while recording. Bullshit.
It's okay. I'll send you my copy.
Oh,
we ran
Carmen. We don't really have a problem with those kind of people unless you actually do something harmful against people like us. But it's more so the far right that's the problem.
Yeah, like I'm far left, far right. Those are bad. Like, but as us continuing, you know, Carmen, Pups. Let me finish. Also, Carmen Writer, the Lolicon is transgender. She's very right wing. The Loon's transgender, very right wing.
Vap is transgender and right wing.
You know, like, why are you going? If you were being consistent, you would go after them.
Hold on, I gotta kill something.
Like, you know, as I said, you know, like I said, there's a lot of right wing people, and some of them are trans. Like, it kind of feels like I said, like, you know, what Dylan's saying, like, you know, like it kind of feels like you're kind of trying to impose a worldview onto some people, like saying CSAM instead of CP. I mean, I can understand both perspectives. Like, you know, I prefer not using the word CP mainly because it's been used as a dog whistle by predators. But if someone says CP, I'm not going to cry about it because, you know, I might correct them, but, you know, that's their decision. They kind of mean the same thing, generally speaking.
Also, I think it's saved. It's just in S3 at the moment.
Okay. But to continue, we go on about politics because Pups doesn't agree with some of the server being right wing and says they want people to look at what they're arguing before they send it. I bring up that I've been in calls with Tal where they've researched stuff, and she immediately goes and says Mega is far right horse shit.
I mean, it's true.
That's not the point.
To a conversation about politics and about economics. I try to tell Pups to go job hunting. She says she's unable to get a job, which makes no sense.
Probably because I'm banned from Twitter.
What the fuck does Twitter have to do with jobs? You're good at coding.
I'm not allowed to hold a Twitter account, and I'm not allowed to operate one.
That's not what the heck. You know, Pups, what Nils is saying has nothing to do with Twitter.
Get a coding job.
I've been trying to get her a job, but she fucking refuses.
I can do that, but like, I'd rather also not get one in the U.S.
Pups, that's a very shallow way of looking at reality. I hate to say it, but like,
because the fucking U.S. job market is saturated.
Yeah, I'm not
this job in my field without a degree, which newsflash, I don't have.
Actually, no, you can be a freelance.
All right,
and you don't need. Sorry, Dylan.
Chris, sit.
fuck?
What was that?
It's a clicker.
Sit. All right. Brad, no, you may continue.
So,
As I think sorry, no, you can take it.
so my idea is for Pups to get a coding job as a freelancer. Pups does not like that idea. I don't talk about it specifically here, but we've talked about it in the past multiple times. Pups has always, and I mean always for the past 5 years, made an excuse.
Yeah. As I would say, like Pups, like you have a very valuable skill.
Yeah, we can.
Like, you know,
Sorry.
like Pups, like, you know, like obviously the job market for programming is very like oversaturated, but I think with your skills, like you're able to host a website and all that stuff, like it might help you out a little to kind of like expand your services to someone else. Like, you know, like that might be enough for like a local restaurant to hire you to build their website. You know, it's not long term, but you know, you can make like maybe like $500 from it. You know, there are people who are willing to pay, like, you know, obviously like, you know, you have to get a W-9, like talk to a tax lady to figure out taxes and all that stuff. You can have write-offs for that stuff, but I'm speaking to somebody who doesn't know coding, but like Pups, like you saying you don't want to work in the US market because it's oversaturated, I can understand that. But saying you just don't want to work in the US market because of that is kind of naive, you know, kind of like naive because you're an American citizen currently, as far as I'm aware.
We then get
I was
into
born
the.
in the U.S. U.S. parents. I have citizenship.
Okay.
Right.
We then get into the third day in a row of Pups threatening their life to me in DMs. The next day, because Blixie said jokingly, "Bro, never speak again." I think it was a Linux and Windows argument. I might be incorrect.
It was not. It was a political argument.
Okay. Pups
Okay, yeah.
messages me.
I basically took it literally.
Yeah, I was gonna
Blixie
say,
says that to everybody in like every call.
yeah, I to give Pup some benefit of the doubt, Blixie could work on that. Like, you know, like it's not always cool to say that stuff unless you're joking, like, oh, get out of here, you know. But like maybe the tone might have been the thing.
During this call,
it was the tone that made me take it literally.
he literally talked how he always talks. But during this call, it wasn't just in DMs where Pup said that they disconnected and would never speak again in my server VC.
I later figured out it was a joke, so I returned.
Yeah.
And then I said something about Tommy Caravan.
A few days go by. Snark makes a literal joke, mutes them. I have an argument with Pups about this. And then I decide to admin Pups because I see it as an abuse of power. Initially in the past, they said if Snark made another political statement in general, they'd ban them. At that point back in the day, I said no, if they do it, just time them out. Pups agreed. So Pups sees that Snark makes a joke about battery acid of all things and says it's a government lie. Clearly a joke.
It was I saw it as politically charged. So I tweeted them in that specific channel because they've had a history.
How can you mistake jokes about battery acid for something political?
It's because Pups doesn't like Snarkfield, and I don't mean to be rude, but I think Pups was looking for an excuse.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I literally thought it was politically charged or is going down the road of politics.
Then it gets better because right after I say they weren't genuinely making a political statement, scroll down just 2 more messages and Pups is threatening their life for the 5th time in a week.
I can't monitor everything while I'm asleep.
I know.
I can't
Yeah,
I can't spend every waking fucking moment without sleep monitoring her.
yeah, we're not blaming you for that. You're not in trouble. You know, that's not your fault.
It just seems this group chat seems to imply it, unfortunately.
No, you're here
So-
because Pups chose you as their mediator.
Yeah,
We're not
like I
going
said,
at you. You've done literally
Yeah.
nothing.
you're innocent as far as I'm aware.
My father was the reason I've been on a decline mentally.
Like,
He's literally a waste of, like, my father is like
what
piece of
is?
fucking shit.
Can I ask what your father does? If what your father does is so bad? Like, I'm not like
He
saying like in a
abused her
rude
when-
way.
He abused her when she was a
physically
kid.
abusive.
Like, did he hit you? Was it verbal?
It was
In 2000,
physical and
2009,
verbal.
he pushed me into my wooden frame bed and almost caused me to crack my head open.
Okay.
I was about 8 or 9 years old. And later in life, he was verbally fucking abusive because I slighted him. And
Oh, so like my father.
he's been basically finding excuses to be verbally abusive.
Oh, so like my
I-
father.
That's why I started telling her to stand up for herself.
I've been trying to avoid my father because he is a fucking asshole that cannot take a hint of why the fuck I'm avoiding him.
I mean,
In
my father.
2025, he called me useless, and I took it so literally that I've been taking on so much work that I've been burning myself out over and over and over again.
I will agree.
Well, when
you do like spend most of your days just coding and coding. Like that's gonna burn you out.
Yeah, that is. I barely.
My father
I
called
just.
me useless because I didn't do what he wanted in that moment. So I got burned out repeatedly because I just
Mhm.
his words fucking hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to that because my father is the same way. My father, basically, when I was 13 years old, like he was being a punk. I kicked him initially, he grabbed me, threatened to like basically to fight me in public. And my dad and my mom got
I've been on a
into
decline because
pups.
I'm stuck with my
Pups.
father living
Pups.
with him.
Chris, that's enough.
I didn't really appreciate you cutting me off there.
Go ahead.
Never mind. Forget it.
And then,
Thanks, pups.
to end it off today, Pups decided it would be a good idea to vent to Brad and then send me yesterday, and then send me the GC. Change their username to Overstayed Welcome inactive and send it to me in DMs for whatever reason. And then
Yeah, I saw that.
And then vaguely said, "Your server doesn't know what happened to me. I'm not worth the effort of saving. Don't try. I'm worthless." Which, given for 5 or maybe 6 days in a row at this point, they've baited their life. I took it as a suicide threat, but I can't confirm that. And then today, Pups goes to me. My intention was to help you during your absence, but you've already replaced me, so I don't know if I should still stay in your server. Just because I did one thing you didn't agree with. There was a lot more to this.
This isn't the first time she behaved like this when she had a higher rank in a server.
Oh,
She
and
did
then,
this in she did this in Sunflower Collective as well, and couldn't take accountability for it.
And then I bring up how 8 people have asked me to ban Pups, and I've decided not to.
Me, I don't want you to ban pups. I just want you like strip their admin. Literally just that. Just strip them and put them on timeout.
The last time someone did this, she left the server.
And then we have
She's
Pups
that stubborn.
And then finally we have Pups threatening themselves with a paint scraper as a makeshift box cutter. Today.
Oh, wonderful.
You literally said you would cut yourself, so
I said,
I said,
how about this?
I
How about
said
if you cut yourself, I
basically.
gash myself.
You,
Uh,
I took what you said as you cut yourself, so I said me too. So
Nil,
Yeah, no, that's when I
not.
decided that a call was necessary. I
Um,
snapped.
to be fair to Pups, that was not cool. You know, you probably shouldn't say that. You know, not cool. You know, you like I said, like I said, like you don't like I said, like I know you're a troll and all that stuff. But you gotta like
Oh no,
know to kind of
that
like
was me literally snapping after 7 days in a row of pups threatening their life to me.
right. I
Every
can
single day
understand that.
possible.
I
I'm
can
not saying it's
understand that,
right.
but
I'm not saying it's right. I'm in the wrong
right.
for that.
Yeah, like that's not cool. You know, I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's not cool. You know. Um, Also, like another thing I kind of noticed, you talked about Loonstar. Like I said, I don't know about Loonstar, but like the thing that kind of hung up that kind of made me hung up about it isn't necessarily what they've said, but like you like being like allowing them to like what they said to dominate you instead of just like pressing the block button. Like you
No,
know,
no,
like
pups actually did just block Lunistar and then just spoke about it afterwards.
okay,
yeah,
yeah, okay, I didn't know that context.
I put them on ignore and remove them as from my friends list.
Yeah,
Okay,
Lunistar, for context, knows that Dylan is trans. I know this because Lunistar was in their friend group
hmm
and is okay with Dylan being trans. Dylan can be transgender male, no problem. But when it comes to Pups being a transgender female, now there's an issue. Now it's an
yeah.
abomination to God. Their relationship as two men, because they're okay with Dylan being trans but not Pups, is seen as unholy in God's eyes.
That's
Yeah,
fucking hypocritical. If they
yeah, it
want,
is hypocritical. Like if you're a Christian, at least be consistent, you know.
if they
Go ahead,
can't,
Dylan.
if they can't accept Chris, if they can't accept Chris, I'm not going to accept them.
Well, my problem is just more so they're not being morally consistent.
That was honestly my
My
issue too.
my so Pups, but this whole stuff. Why? Let me ask you a question. Why is it that you were more harder about Pebs when he was doing seemingly less? But it's fine if you do it.
Because I don't like it when people don't listen to instruction
Mhm.
repeatedly.
Right.
When I tell people to do something repeatedly or to move to a channel where it's appropriate to do so,
hmm
it's and they don't knock it off. I get rather heated about it.
But don't you see the contradictory behavior? Because Pebs probably thought the same thing because they tried to ban Snarkfield and other right wing people.
You know, they tried banning Snark and Tal, and then, Lord
And
and
they did.
behold, Pups, you wanted to ban Snark and Tal.
I
You know?
I
I'm not
think I
saying you like
only
Pup, or I'm not saying you
I
like
don't think
Peeps.
I don't think I wanted to ban Tao outright. They were really weirding Blixie out with trying to add them by force, and
What do you
Blixie
mean?
was
No,
actively saying
I spoke to
The
no.
Blixie
only,
about that, and Blixie said
I
no.
think
He
the
actually
only want,
agreed.
I think at this point, the only thing we want from Tal is an apology.
Right. Tal, although I will give some constructive criticism. Just a rule of common sense: you guys should probably not talk about sex with other people who are like you barely know. If it's between you two, who cares? You know, would you guys
I
do the bedroom?
I've
Who cares? But like,
I've had DMs with Tao from 2022 apparently.
but
Also,
but
I'm gonna say Dylan's not the one talking about sex with people in my server. That is
Okay,
Pups
because I don't
talking.
remember doing so.
I've never
I
seen him
know,
do it
but
once.
I
Pups,
know,
on the
but
other
like,
hand, goes on about fucking you raw constantly.
okay, but like, the thing is, like, Pups, you like, you know, there's a reason why you don't talk about sex, religion, and politics in general because those things are kind of uncomfortable topics. You probably shouldn't be talking about your sexual fetishes with people who probably don't even want to hear it. You know, I have my own kinks and stuff. You know, but I don't want to talk about or hear people talk about it because
Fair enough.
it's a stumbling block for me. Number
I
one, Pups. Let me finish. Number one, number two, it's a boundary issue. You know, people like you know
Like I said, you guys, if you guys want to do diapers or whatever, I don't care. As long as you're consenting adults, I don't care.
We don't really want to do that.
I don't think I remember ever saying that.
I was
Although
2022, so that's fair.
We don't want to.
Right.
We don't want to do that shit. We decided not to.
Okay. So here's another thing I have. This is a personal anecdote. Pups, on your Wolf Labs account, you were very inactive in my server. Like my server is open for everybody, but I kind of clear it up. I get rid of like inactive users.
I don't have access to that account anymore.
Was it around October or November of 2021?
It was closer to 2024.
Yeah, it's the last time I've had access.
She must have forgotten to remove it.
It's like the last time I had access to it was like March 2025.
Okay, but
I lost access to it.
Pups, that's the Pups. Let me finish. Access to that account still, and I told you I asked Dylan. Dylan wasn't active in my servers. I gave them the boot, but when I asked that account, essentially saying I shouldn't ban you from my server. From my server, you guilt tripped me into keeping you in my server, and then, I didn't even know your account was inactive till like a couple days ago, and I decided to boot it anyways. Like that's not cool, Pops. Like why are you like not okay with me doing stuff from my own server? You know,
because I lost access to it, but I
Well, I
Pups,
have a simple
Pups, you're
solution. I have a simple solution. Why don't you just add Pups' main account to your server instead? Because she has access to it.
I didn't even know this was Pup's new account till maybe earlier this year, last year. I didn't even know this was your main. It was whatever the account was on my server.
She got hacked, so she made a new one.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that. Like I said, I do apologize. You know, my server.
This is my main that got hacked, but I recovered it.
Okay.
I had to go through Discord support and the Labyrinth, that is Trust and Safety, and they recovered it and knocked the 2-factor off of it that the hacker put on it. And I didn't even know Discord could fucking do that, but they can.
Right. But like my thing is just like you kind of like have a habit of guilt tripping people into doing things if they don't agree with you. You know.
Like personally,
Like
this has been going on for like 4 or 5 years, but the last week it's ramped up. It's been daily.
yeah, like Pups. I think you need to like Nil has more harsher opinions about it, but
My
I try to
opinion is Pups needs therapy. Like that's
that's my opinion too. Like I give you benefit of the doubt. I do want to apologize earlier for the comments I was making about your relationship. It is none of my business, but like I do apologize about that. I am very sorry. I will never. It will never happen again. I promise you that. But when you are suicide baiting in a server, granted Dylan was not on, so they're not at fault, but you're making like very disturbingly graphic, violent comments because people don't agree with you, and you're talking about like your childhood and stuff like that. It's trauma dumping is what it is. Like I'm not like condemning you or anything. But like Pups, you need to get help, like serious mental health help. Like this is like not cool, and this is like very intolerable behavior.
There's also something that we need to touch on. Pups, you said that you're going homeless as well?
Potentially by the end of the year, yeah.
Can you explain that a little?
Her parents don't want to be. Her parents don't want to be here anymore, so they're moving out of the U.S.
Where are they moving to?
Might be. That's the thing.
They haven't decided. According to her, they haven't decided yet, but they want to be sure that she and I are safe. But she doesn't. They don't want to move out yet until they know that she and I are safe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They might be, but it depends on Dad's health. Because
I've also suggested.
That's also been declining in health, but we don't know.
I've also suggested Pups moves in with Dylan, but I believe Dylan's household's already too full as it is.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Well, Pups, as we were suggesting to you earlier, I would suggest like maybe potentially like maybe looking for like a paid coding internship, or like maybe like selling your services like on Fiverr or whatever, because you're skilled, but just look into that, like but because being homeless is not cool, or is not a good experience. Like Nil can tell you from personal experience, but
Actually, it wasn't too bad in 2024. I just kind of chilled in the woods.
I know, but like I kind like I think Nil was saying this earlier. Correct me if you can correct me if I'm wrong. It kind of felt kind of coincidental when Nil announced their homelessness with what you're facing.
I did, because I was like, it was right after I announced it. I did to give benefit of the doubt.
I think it's because I won't have a place to go back to by the end of the year. I have planned to move out, but I don't think I'll have a place to go back to.
But to give benefit to be completely uncharitable, and it kind of felt like you saying that was just because you were cornered for pointing out your bad behavior.
Not at all.
Right, like I said, I'm being
we
uncharitable.
have confirmation from Dylan that this is truthful.
All right.
Dylan.
No, not at all. It's not.
All right. Thank you for letting us know about it. I wish it didn't. You told us when it didn't have to come to this situation, because, like I said, there was a lot of skepticism. Is that fair, Nil?
There was moderate skepticism. I was 50-50 on if it was true or if it was not true.
I'll be honest, did not believe it. Not because I didn't want, because like I said, the timing was a little too coincidental. But now that I've been made aware of it, I am very sorry for that.
It's because my parents. Want to know something?
Sure.
It's because I don't know if I'm gonna have a house soon.
That's why, and I don't mean to be rude, you need to get that coding job ASAP. You need to save up your money, because if you go to buy a house or an apartment or even a bachelor pad like I'm doing, you have to pay the first and last month's rent up front. You have to pay double your first month's rent immediately before they let you in.
So if it's like
I had bad news about like a couple days ago, because like a day or two ago,
Pups, that doesn't change
my
what
parents'
Nil
account was unable to pay the fucking mortgage.
No, Pups.
That's why I said it was going to be fucking homeless.
Pups, that doesn't change it. That's not the point. And I kind of feel like
I didn't want to bring it up.
Pups, I feel like you're kind of deflecting what Nil is saying by mentioning that. Please try not to do that again. What Nil is saying is true. You got to pay the beginning. Like, let's say your rent's like $1,500. You have to pay double for the beginning and the end. Now you got to pay rent. You got to pay for the grocery bills, utilities,
heat, hydro, internet. On top of that,
so you might be looking like I said, like I'm being high
for your first month.
I was gonna say 4,000, but
well, I live in Canada. Prices are higher. A one bedroom apartment here goes anywhere from $1,850 to $3,200.
I think that's similar. That's like a very cheap apartment in the United States, something like that. But anyways, so Pups, I would recommend getting that sorted. You don't need to, not today. you'll need to get this sorted too, but definitely consider it. I would maybe start up an account on Fiverr. You could start it up today, or do that and just figure out your prices and all that stuff, and then make workable hours, and then go from there. Like I said, taxes wise, you're gonna have to get a tax accountant, but like that's not an immediate need, I would say.
Yeah, I know you have like 5 to 7 years to do your taxes.
But
yeah.
anyways, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Me or Pups?
Anyone?
It's the fact that I'm concerned about, like, it's the fact that I'm just emotionally a mess because of stuff that I've been trying to be keeping separate from my online life. But everything that has happened has forced it to come to light.
Right. Pups, can I ask you a question?
What?
I kind of noticed this a little bit. You kind of talk about the same topics all the time, like what happened in high school, or like bad people like Aliyah or whatever. I mean, we're all autistic, but like, do you like I said, like that's probably a therapist question. Sorry, air is running my apartment.
I have a bad habit of what's called.
Like, I would recommend
Right.
try not to talk about those topics over and over again, because it's like
you're
to
reliving
use
them
a
every time you do. Your brain
Not
doesn't
only-
think about it.
not only
Can I
that,
talk? I have a
sure.
I have a bad habit of what's called perseveration. It's been happening since I was young, and that shit does not go away.
We're not saying it goes away, but like
The fact
gotta
that you
have-
guilt trip me in my DMs doesn't guilt trip me too in my DMs doesn't go away either.
yeah, like the thing is, like, when you're autistic, but like, to use a bad analogy, Nil, let's say I tell Nil like the chicken across the road joke, and I say that joke every single time, it's gonna get very stale and boring. It's not gonna be funny anymore. You gotta kind of like know when and where to like say certain things. Like not like when and where, but like more like how many times you kind of have to say it, because then otherwise it gets redundant and kind of makes people annoyed.
I don't mean to be that guy, but all the people in my server who've asked for you to be banned, Brad, it's literally been because you don't stop about Tommy.
Fair.
I
I
never
mean, to be,
understood that chicken crossing the road joke anyway.
it's stupid, but my point, like I said, like I'll try not to talk about that thing. I like I said, there's a personal reason I'm invested, because he hurt my friend, and I want to see, like I said, like I want to see him suffer because he made my friend feel ugly. She's like a year older than me, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I said, like I don't know if like Pups says it, like feels it, like I know Carmen Writer.
Now do you understand?
We've understood the first time you explained it, but the point is like when you keep bringing it up over and over again, like I said, same criticism goes to me. Like,
That's why I sometimes exclude myself from the call. It's
well,
because I know it gets annoying.
Well,
it's
you
not
don't.
like I can fucking help it.
Well, it's not that we don't want you to call it, like, but like, I guess voluntarily choosing isolation is understandable, but like,
It's because I don't like being annoying to people, and I don't like being a bother.
I didn't
Well,
think
like-
I was annoying to people until I was much older, and I regretted annoying them.
I don't like pissing people off. I don't like being a bother to people.
I think
But
the thing that Pups needs to work on most right now is fuck. I just had the word in my mind. Self-worth. It's not
Yeah.
what I was thinking of initially. My brain just farted, but that's the closest I can think of.
No, that's self-confidence,
Self-worth is
I would
not
say.
something I've ever really had.
No one
And
has
it's not something I've ever really been given.
Pups. No one is given self-confidence. You have to build that up. It's something.
The only one who's really given me any is Dylan, which is sad but true.
But I
But
was gonna
like,
say, so two things about that. Like, one, that's actually a good thing. It gives you motivation to like. But two, as I pointed out
gives
in
me a
the
reason to go on.
right, that's a good thing.
That's the thing, because my family repeatedly tried to break me.
Oh, that's
But you
something
could.
that I need to talk about too. Is you've said on several occasions, and I'm not gonna say good or bad about this, but it is kind of abusive to Dylan. You've said on several occasions, if Dylan ever leaves you, you'd kill yourself.
Yeah, that's Dylan. What do you think about that? Do you think that's okay or acceptable?
Uh,
Be honest.
Just
I
tell us
hate
the
to be a
fucking
deal
truth.
breaker, but I hate it to be a deal breaker, but no,
No,
it's not
like
okay.
okay. I thank you for clarifying that.
I do want to, although we did make a small pact about the whole Romeo and Juliet thing, where if something happens to one, where if something happens to one of us, the other would want to join them, so they won't be alone. But
Here's what. Sorry.
but the fact that she's tried, but the fact that she's been attempting this and not realizing that it could trash our future, it's not okay.
Well, I
Well, a
picked up
couple
on
of
something there. The Romeo and Juliet. If something happens to one, it happens to the other. Pups, why would you then put Dylan's life in your hands by attempting your own life if you know what the outcome's going to be?
It's simple. She sometimes forgets that I exist. And I feel like she doesn't care about me, even though she does. But I do wish she would be a bit more considerate about her actions.
Right. Like putting someone in your hands is dangerous when it's not your responsibility. Like you're not a police officer, you're not a firefighter whose lives are on the line to help out other people. That's not your burden to carry. You know? Like I have a friend who said that about her abusive boyfriend. If he breaks up with me, she would kill herself, and that happened, and I immediately called the police about it. Like that's like kind of say this bluntly, like that's very kind of manipulative. That's like saying like that's be like like telling Neil like if you don't do this, I'll kill myself, or do this or I'll hurt you. You're not responsible for anyone's happiness but your own. Like
She
it's
didn't actively threaten me with that. She did when I tried to confront, and she does when I try to confront her about something.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, whenever I confront her about anything, she puts her life on the line too. That's been a
When
thing for years.
Like Asher Morningstar does the same thing. If you know who that is. Do you know who that is, Pups? Oh, muted. Um, but like I said, I'm sorry about earlier, Dylan. I do apologize, and I apologize to you, Pups.
I love you too, Chris.
Pups, can you please? I was just like I said, like the whole Romeo and Juliet thing is like there's a reason why it works in fiction. It's fiction, like but in reality, it's very toxic and very dangerous.
I love you, Chris, but we need to stop this. Right? It's hurting me, it's hurting you, it's hurting everyone else around us. Don't you understand that?
Pups, can you please unmute?
Can you please unmute for me?
Yeah, Pups just said, yes, I understand, Dylan. Pups, we need you to unmute. We need you to discuss about this. Thank you.
Others to discuss.
Like, were you not paying attention? Oh.
Others.
We're gonna have to put an end to that pact, because I hate to say it, if you're actively trying at your life and you have that pact with Dylan, that pact's, you gotta go.
Yeah, like, I don't know your address. Dylan knows your address, but like, if you try that, you're gonna
Bill knows it, but
you're gonna be met up with a welfare check.
I stopped wanting to attend like years ago.
As somebody who feels depression and sometimes feels that stuff, it's very normal. You know, everyone in this call, I'm pretty sure, has felt depression. Like, I've never attempted to commit suicide. I've gotten close to
there's
attempting
a
it.
very good reason that I've never gone through with it, and that's because Dylan has always halted it in its tracks.
Right. But like I said, like that kind of goes to
No
like
matter, someone has always intervened, and in most cases, since I've been involved with Dylan, he's always stopped it.
and that's good. I'm actually very proud of you, Dylan, for that.
Out of the two of us, I'm literally the only person that's the voice of reason and is trying to keep Chris at bay from making poor decisions.
If I can ask, like, Dylan, would you say you're the more logical thinker in the relationship?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Affirmative.
Dylan's probably one of the few people that I trust the most.
But
which, hilariously enough, leads me to be the pants of this relationship.
Yeah, true.
So
the thing is, I love Dylan more than anything.
Right.
And I just
it's just
want to be with Dylan. I don't think we're really going to stop that pact anyways. It's just I'd rather die of old age before of anything, because I don't think Dylan's going to really let me die of my own hand.
That's the goal, I think, in life.
But if you're going to
not going to let that happen.
If you're going to do this to people like Brad or Nil, think about the outcome.
Like you understand, like, suicide is something that, like, you know, if someone dies, like it, like as I told my friends, it affects everybody. It is something that never ever goes away. Like, they will live with that burden for the rest of their life. They'll blame themselves, realizing wishing that they could have stopped it. Like I'm not like trying to like I'm telling you, like, the harsh reality. I'm not trying to sound rude, but like, it never ever goes away. Like, they'll blame themselves forever, and it's a burden that will never ever go away. Like that. Also, like, it's that serious.
Yeah, Pups.
I also have a really complicated abandonment complex, so.
Okay.
Sure.
I used to be like the same way, but then everybody ditched me in 2023 pretty well. You guys didn't, but good 90% of people I knew ditched me. And
yeah.
But since then,
I won't do that, but like at the same time, if I'm really not going to get admin back in your server, I don't see what's the point of me being active in there anymore.
All right, I think that's kind of ridiculous, because you know, like, I don't.
It's like my activity was dependent on me having permissions
So it
Mhm.
wasn't
So-
because we're friends, it's because you had power.
Oh, great.
Not really. It's I'm more active if I have something to
That-
do there, which I
that
don't
sound-
now.
That sounds like you saying the loud part quietly and a quiet part loudly.
It's if I have something to do,
Mm.
which I really don't now.
But why?
I
Like
have
as I
really nothing to do. I'm
as
kind of out of things to do there.
as I will say, Pops. As I will
In
say
my own
again,
words, what's the fucking point? That's why I'm not active.
Pups. Let me ask you another question. This gets into follow up. Why is it that you were harder on Pebs when they were going on their power trip, but it's fine with you doing it? And Pebs did less.
Because
Is that fair to say?
I don't really, I don't know. It's the thing.
But you understand it's contradictory, right? It's not hypocrisy because it's not against your values, but it's contradictory.
If you really want to know what happened, I think I'm actually scared of what the fuck I'm becoming.
Well, what do you think you're becoming?
Type it in.
Just say it. I don't type it. We just want you to say it.
I might as well say it for her. A monster.
But you're not a monster. No, you don't do terrible things. You're not going out like doing terrible things to people. It's not like criminal, you know.
You don't crush cities. You don't burn them. You don't burn cities down with a beam or something.
You don't like commit crimes. Oh,
Oh,
I
shit.
see.
When you're
Okay.
around people, you usually begin picking up their traits.
Yeah,
Subconsciously.
that's kind of like how I feel about my father. You know, I can actually relate to Pups in that way. So Pups, I understand. I can. Well, I let me word it correctly. I might not know exactly what you're going through, but I can maybe understand from my perspective what you're saying. But
That's why.
the thing is, Pups, like if you're worried about being your father, that's the first step to like recovery, which is like admitting you have a problem.
I'm trying
No?
so hard not. I know how she feels. I'm trying not. I'm trying so hard not to be my mom.
I mean, I'm trying not to be like my parents, but that's not the point. No,
That's why my
what's
signature on the
your
West Power
comment
Lab
on this?
forums literally says, "Never lose sight of yourself, or losing your way causes you to be the
Also,
issue."
No, I was gonna say if you want to talk to Pups about what's going on, you can. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go take a leak.
and just to clarify, I wouldn't exactly say I was a victim of CSA. I was more so a victim of bullying. I was picked on by my older
You were
nieces.
literally forced to draw like hub art.
Oh, that's right.
Anyways, that's my signature on the Web Power Lab forums.
Oh,
It's literally because I'm scared
I guess
that I'm
technically that counts. But I was picked on by my older nieces by my nieces who were older than me when I was a kid.
that's literally my signature on the Web Power Lab forums.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I'm scared of what the fuck I'm becoming.
And sometimes when someone makes a playful joke by physically punching them or kicking them, it triggers me. Every time someone does that, even if it's a joke, it re-traumatizes me.
I think that's exactly why I'm afraid of. That's why I don't want to be at my father's house anymore. I'm scared of becoming more like him.
I'm back. I know I missed a lot. If
I
anyone wants
don't
to
want
catch
to
me up,
be.
well, as I will say, like like that's why I said like earlier, no one is in charge of your own happiness but you. Obviously, like your influences and who you're around does play a factor. You know, that's why I want to stay away from my dad. Myself. But like I said, like if you want
I don't
to,
want to
like,
be around him anymore. I want to be away from him because I'm scared about becoming like him. He's an abusive asshole. I don't
You'll be
want to
a,
become like him.
you'll be away for him for a little while near the end of May. You're
mhm.
visit me,
I
remember?
know.
Like as I would say, Pups, like like to be the bigger person in the
Even if it's
situation. Sorry.
temporary, you can make every day count.
Exactly. Like,
No.
to quote Michael
I don't
Jack
want to become him I don't want to become like him. I'm scared
to
of
quote,
that.
to quote Michael Jackson, if you want to make the change, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and start the change. Not
I don't want to
literally.
look myself in the mirror because all I see is just a monster.
It's not literally like, like everyone sees themselves as a monster. As somebody, like I said, it's complicated because, I have a lot of complicated feelings myself about myself becoming like a monster, like my father. But I got to put my best. You got to put your best foot forward and just put in effort. It's not easy, there are gonna be days you stumble. That's totally normal, But the
I don't
reality
want
of
to
it is,
become him at all.
like I said, like the way, like as I will say, like yes, like there's genetics and stuff, but like you gotta just start like with yourself and make the change and decide every single, well, not like every single day, like, well, but every single day, looking yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm not going to be like him. I'm going to put my best foot forward and make the change. Like, as I will say, there's saying it, but then there's actions and attitude.
No, I need to be out of the environment I'm in. I need to get out of here.
But the thing is, getting out of the environment isn't necessarily going to fix that. You have
I'm
to.
gonna get
It's a
myself into Section
consistency.
8 housing, an apartment, as soon as I can.
Okay, but I don't mean to be rude, but you don't have a job. You've never had a job. You don't seem to be looking for a
Section
job.
8 is subsidized housing.
Okay, but how are you going to get your food? Your clothes?
I
You're
have
you're
clothes. I have clothes, and I'm probably going to be on disability, if anything.
okay, but what if you run out of What if you run out of clothes, like and they're ripped to shreds? Disabilities meant to in the United States. I don't know about Canada. I'm pretty sure in Canada too. In the United States of America, and to the republic to which it stands. Sorry, like it's only really meant to be able for you to pay your food, your groceries, and maybe a few things in the house. Rent, you gotta have a job or you gotta have a roommate or
Section 8 is paid for by the fucking state.
that's not the point. You got to have like what the states. Like I said, if you're on disability and Section 8 housing, you're not going to have enough. You might not even have the bare minimum to like run your website. That's why
That is
we're
true
kind of
because Pups' website is paid for by their parents, and it's $200 a month, I believe.
More than that, but that's not the point. I might get myself a job somewhere. Like I need to
where
be out of my parents' house like quick.
I'm scared of what the fuck I'm becoming. I don't want to be in this environment anymore.
If you don't want to be in the environment, and this is going to sound harsh, you need a job before you leave the environment.
Well, something to that degree. It's to be fair, it's sometimes it can be complicated, like in Pups' case. Can I? And like I said, I don't want to sound rude when I say this, but Pups, you're autistic, right? Like, are you like,
Yeah.
are you like Asperger's autism, like
Yeah.
higher function?
It's more
Okay.
so ADHD.
Okay. So,
It's ADHD and Asperger's. Yes.
okay. So the reason why I wanted to ask is just so I can kind of gauge with you a little. Like, okay. So I think what Neil and I are saying makes sense. You know, you just gotta, like I said, like, you know, you gotta start with like the fiber job. You know, like if you gotta get a job, like if you gotta get a job at like, you know, like I don't know, like at a restaurant, like cleaning dishes or prepping food, or like at a retail store, like at Target or whatever. You know, it's not great, but it helps you pay the bills. You know, you're better than that, obviously, but like it's something to start with, just to get you experience. I know that's like a tall order in the United States with the way the job market is currently, but like, you know, you got to start somewhere.
It's just I'm scared of becoming more like my father, and that's why my behavior has been getting worse.
Pups,
Is because
Pups,
I'm stuck with my fucking dad.
Pups, I don't mean to say this without sounding rude, but you're deflecting what I'm saying. It feels like you're not really taking the advice that's being given to you. You're just going back to the same thing over and over again.
No, I'm going to get a job at some fucking point. I just don't know when.
Okay, but like at some point, but what if that some point like comes within tomorrow? You guys move out of your house.
I
You
have
gotta
a valid.
start.
I have a valid reason. I can't get a job because I don't have an ID.
I was gonna say, like, can you get a state ID maybe or passport?
No,
No.
they've been fucking Dylan hard
Not
when
yet.
it comes to the ID.
Okay, so
They fucking screwed me over.
okay,
And
so
now
that's a government
so I have to
problem.
reapply.
Like I said, I'm not laughing at you, but yeah, that sounds like a total.
He doesn't have the right kind of
All the more reason I want to fucking leave this dump pit.
he doesn't have a passport, and he doesn't have the prerequisite birth certificate for the passport.
Yeah, that's gonna complicate it. Um, like you know what day you were born and all that stuff. In a year.
Yes.
November 12th, 2001.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to ask, because they're, like I said, I don't know the whole process, but as I was saying to Pups, like, you know, I'm agreeing with Neil, you know, you gotta start somewhere. Like just finding a job might not be the job you want, like coding, but you can do that as a side hustle, you know, make more money that way, you know. Is that fair to say, Neil?
That's fair to say, but Dylan wanted to say something first.
Sorry.
If you've realized it by now, since you know when my birthday is, I was 18 when we did in 2019. I did explicitly consent to it. We did try, but it didn't really, like she said, we did try, but it didn't really go anywhere because her thing is, we both decided not to do it anyway because her thing was small anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't it. Yeah.
Right.
And also, I got out of an abusive cycle of having CSAM made out of me right before I got involved with Dylan.
Right.
So I really wasn't keen on fucking anyways.
Pup.
Yeah. If I were to get a job after I do finally get a passport, I was hoping to make fursuits. Although it'll be
Right.
more of a hobby than a business.
Yeah, that's fair. But Pups, like, do you like? I know,
Yeah.
I know, like Pups. Well, Neil mentioned this in his kitty tail video, but like, do you have a bank account? No, I'm not
I
asking to scam you. Just
I
wanted to
have
ask.
bank accounts, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, is that connected to your parents, or is that a
Yes, and she
separate bank
spoils
account?
me with it.
Okay.
What do you
I
say,
just
Brad?
is it a separate account or or is it connected to like a larger account?
They are separated.
All right, because I was gonna say mine's
Yeah.
connected with my family's, because like I said, we used to have a family plan, but okay.
Although my parents have access to some of them.
I do need to ask a glaring question that I've been pondering a little while.
Go ahead.
Pups, you said that you might go on disability, right?
Mhm.
Why have you not gone on disability yet? You're 26. You've had 8 years to do that.
If you must know, my parents have been funding everything.
I've already known that. That's been established. You've never had a job.
But why aren't you going to Social Security, like making the booking an appointment? Like Lily's on disability,
My dad's on retirement because he worked for the government.
but that's not you're deflecting and you're not answering the question.
Because I don't know why I
She
haven't
doesn't
yet.
want to do it.
'Cause
It,
I
it
don't
takes
know
like
why.
it takes like 2 days to get set up.
Well,
Because
to be fair, that's being beneficial
She
to the
doesn't
U.S.
want to
Post.
do it. She doesn't want to do it. She wants to rely on everyone.
because the answer is I don't know why I haven't yet.
I don't want to say this without sounding rude, but like that's kind of like a parasite. That's kind of mooching off your parents. Like it's also kind of insanely
Because they're more
hypocritical.
well off than I would ever be.
But that's hypocrisy because you're saying like they're these terrible people, but here they are, like they're helping you pay your internet bill.
They pay all the bills. They pay for Pups'
It's
electronics,
because
like the new
it's because
Quest and PlayStation 5 and all the laptops and all the
it's
sectors and
because
all
it's
the
because my
extra shit.
it's because it's mostly my father, but also my my mom is a little bit more reasonable. But she keeps letting my brother in the house, who tried to kill me with a fucking knife and dunk my head over the gas stove.
How old were you
But,
when that
but
happened? And how old was he?
23, and he's in his early 30s at the time.
Okay, yeah, that's bad. I was gonna say if it's like kids being kids, and that's still
It
bad,
was
but
Oh
less
no, he's
bad.
his
12
brother.
years older than me.
Her brother had a rather bad experience with a gay guy when he was young, and it led him to believe that anyone within the pride community is bad.
Yeah, he's a
So
homophobic, transphobic shithead.
Is he going after like? Does he know you are in
yes,
that community? Okay, so it's targeted. All right, just
Yeah,
wanted to ask.
he's actively he tried to kill me because I cut his internet off.
all because he had a bad experience with, all because he had a horrible experience.
He actively tried
One
to kill me
person.
because I cut his internet off, and my dog Vanessa intervened. She
Yeah, that's
intervened by basically grabbing his leg with her jaw.
okay, but like we're getting completely sidetracked. Like
Oh,
as a pups, stay on topic, please. Um, that doesn't change the fact that you haven't applied for disability. Although to kind of give a neutral take on it, Nil, it's not necessarily a good idea to be on disability if you want to get a job because I was talking about
Actually, you don't have to tell your employer.
no. Like it's like you don't have to, but like there's a reason why. Like certain employers, I believe in the state I live, like they mandate a certain number of hours. You can only work up 20 hours a week. if you're on disability. I don't know if it's federal, but I believe it's the state I live in. It's
Okay,
like you
but
can only work
you
up to
still get your full disability check plus those 20 hours.
right.
Because
I'm not
the first 1,000 you make in Canada, I believe it's 700 in the US, you keep even if you work X amount of hours. So it's
right.
actually a good thing.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying if you're like if we were to suggest like to pups like to get a full-time job, you can't be on disability. That's like the one caveat. That's the thing that sucks about the so the disability system at least
Well,
as
that's
far as
kind of funny because I worked 2 full-time jobs on disability at the same time.
All right. Like I said, it might be my state because, like I said, that might be my state. I don't know if it's federally. Um, I'm not going to dox myself, but like Neil kind of knows my docs, unfortunately. Thanks, Neil, for doxing me.
Here in California, I know that much, but I don't know any more than that. I don't want to.
yeah, like I said, in California, as I talked to my job coach about it because I was seeking help for because I was struggling to find a job, even though I was applying. She told me, asked me if I was on disability because some of the people she's worked with are required, can only work up to 20 hours because they're on disability. They still get their disability money, but they cannot work more than 20 hours a week.
I will find a job, but I also need to get a fucking degree.
You do not need a degree for a job.
Not necessarily. It depends on the job. If you're being if you're going to medical school, yes, you need a degree because
No,
there's
but for like a starting job, like something simple, just to pay the bills, no. Even coding, you can do freelance coding.
Yeah, that's true, or somewhat true. But if you're like I said, to give Pups benefit of the doubt, even like the way the U.S. job market is, I don't know about Canada, is like it requires even that people to want to work at Walmart to have a target, they have a bachelor's degree.
Those community college.
No, like an
I have a
associate's
fucking
degree.
community college dropout, for fuckk's sake.
No, what I'm saying, is like an associate's degree or just graduating from college or graduating from high school is not enough. Like you have to get a bachelor's degree for certain jobs. Like a basic, like it's ridiculous. Like I'm not saying it's exactly true, but like you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes, but there are also a lot of like working in fast food. You do not
Yeah.
need jack or shit for that.
Not necessarily. Like I said, like it depends really on the fast food place, but generally speaking, might ask you for if you have a college degree.
Dude, they people quit constantly at fast food. They take on whoever they need. I've worked mostly in fast food. A little bit of pharmacy, but mostly fast food.
I mean, I've worked in fast food too. I'm very well aware of what you're talking about. Like I said, but like I said, the reality is if you're applying on like Indeed or LinkedIn, sometimes on a website they might require you to have a bachelor's degree as the bare minimum. Why? I don't know. That's just like I said. That's not all of them, but that's a good amount of them. Anyways, we're getting. I think. Is there anything else that you want to add, Neil?
No, not really. I just think that pups. I'm not trying to be rude. You need to find a job because if you're actually going to be going homeless in 7 months, perhaps less, you don't have time to sit and think about it. Like the time for action is now.
I've been. How
I'm
about
hoping that someone's gonna get his passport by end of year so I can get the fuck out of the country. But like,
how about a compromise, Neil? You think about this. You have 3 days to think about this. 3 days to think about this. Once within those 3 days, you gotta.
I'm gonna be out of state on the 15th.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have 3 days not 30 days. You have 3 days to think about it. 72 hours. Think about what we said within 3 days, and then once you thought about it, sign up for Indeed, sign up for LinkedIn, go on Google.
I'm not using LinkedIn. Fuck that.
What the hell? Sorry, that was my fucking internet cutting me off. Anyway, continue.
I'm not using LinkedIn because like they strip your internet, or strip your computer for parts. Like when you go on the site.
Do you want a job?
Yeah, but I'm not using LinkedIn.
Do you want a job?
Yeah, but I refuse to use LinkedIn.
You're gonna have to use LinkedIn. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this, pups. You gotta have Indeed. You gotta have LinkedIn. If you want to get a job,
LinkedIn. I gave them my fucking ID, but like, I'm not gonna go on it because it literally
go on your phone.
It eats all my internet traffic.
Go on your phone.
And on my home internet.
Go on your phone. Pups, that sounds like an excuse.
Get a job.
And excuses were.
I will find a job, but I will not use LinkedIn.
You gotta use it. There's no negotiations. The time for negotiations.
There aren't any other. There aren't.
Oh, there is one more option actually.
Any other applications that would do this?
The other option is Pups goes for disability. That's the other option.
Fiverr.
Because again, I'm not trying to be rude. If your parents move out and they don't take you with them, because you stay here in the USA to be with Dylan, you don't live in the same state as Dylan. You're on your own.
Yeah.
You need some form of finance.
I gave you 4 options for you to look at: LinkedIn, Indeed, Fiverr, and Monster.
What about Glassdoor?
Oh yeah, Glassdoor too. Yeah, that's a good one. Glassdoor. Thanks for reminding me. Now you have 5 options to pick from. Go on every single one of them. In addition to Google, I want you. Here's an objective. I want you to apply. Your goal should be to apply at least up to 1 to 2 jobs a day. Your goal should be 5, but if you apply to these jobs, that's fine. That's a good goal to start with. But if you apply to more than 5, like 15, 50, even better.
Yeah, I had to apply for over 400 jobs before I got my first one.
You had to similarly to apply to over 100 to over similar amount to find jobs. Like, job market's not fun, but like also I would recommend watching YouTube of how to spot for ghost jobs. Definitely be on the lookout for those when you're applying.
Oh my god, ghost jobs. I fucking hate those. They just waste your time.
I tried to explain my dad about it. He just got angry about it, got very dismissive about it.
So if you don't know what a ghost job is, it's a fake application that companies put out to make it appear like they're hiring when they're not, because they have to make certain quotas.
Here's a tip. If the job has been up for over a month, probably a ghost job. If it's reposted multiple times by the same company, probably a ghost job. Around 93% of hiring employees do that.
I'm gonna quickly pee.
But anyways, did you have any thoughts, comments, concerns, complaints about what we've discussed?
I don't fucking know.
Well, the answer is yes or no. There is no maybe.
I don't, but like at the same time, I'm just burned out today.
Right. Like I said, but the job things you have 3 days to think about it. Make sure you sign up for those ones I've suggested, including Glassdoor, the one you just suggested beautifully. And I would recommend for Fiverr, like I said, sign up to set up a coding contract. You might need a lawyer to help you out with all the details, but like it's a good way to get started and get paid for what you like to do, which is programming. Because from what I understand, you have a very good work ethic with it. You are very focused on coding. So figure out an account on Fiverr, make an account. Set some prices. I would maybe, like I said, to get started, maybe have it like 15 per hour. I don't know what your state's minimum wage is, but like let's say 15 per hour, and then go from there.
Might also be worth it to make itch.io where you can post like small games that you make. Instead of focusing on bigger projects right now, focus on small ones that you can complete in like a week or in a month. Get a few of those set up, and then like
I'm
build
working. I'm
yourself from
working
there.
on a little role playing game that I was working on in high school, but I'm actually remaking the full 6 episodes as one game in Unity 6.
Are
As
you
It was
a- as
talking
a-
originally
about?
Unity
Are,
5 game,
are you talking about Time Warp
but
VR?
oh no, it's Slowest Adventure,
Okay.
Right.
which was a high school game like that is that predates Puppy Dog Online by like so
5 years.
many.
You can
No,
you can.
it predates it by a couple of months
Mhm.
in the timeline.
Mm-hmm. Right. But to give benefit to, but what Neil's saying, like, like, I don't know anything about computer programming. Like I said, I'm in the dark. I know you. I don't know about Neil. Well, actually, Neil knows more about it because he used to hack people. I don't know about Dylan, but like I said, like, you have this valuable skill, and
Yeah, but the people who I hacked were like 99% of the time they were Preds.
well, something to that effect. Didn't you hack, like, didn't you DDoS Carmen Writer's Wi-Fi router?
I think I actually did do that once.
How?
I don't remember.
Jesus,
Well, I don't.
just give me back
What?
my fucking.
What?
Oh, oops.
I friggin' the doorknob pulled my back out.
Alrighty. I guess with that, Pups, we've discussed with you what needs to be done, what's been discussed, what others' concerns have been. Do you have any final thoughts, Neil or Dylan?
I'll let Dylan go first.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can write shit down and keep this all in mind. But I did have some ideas if I was going to get a job as soon as I renew my AD, and it was to either I could either make fursuits, even though it'll be part of a hobby, or I could start selling the VR chat clothing assets I make, just so that it's just for everyone else to try it.
Oh,
But
That's actually
I've
a really
debated
good idea.
whether. Oh yeah, I've debated whether or not I'd sell it on either Jinxie or Gumroad, but more so Jinxie.
oh yeah. Is it Gumroad like Fiverr?
When Time Warp VR launches, you can also make assets for avatars on that, and sell them on the in-game grand market.
Mhm.
Maybe if I'm brave enough,
More money.
maybe someday if I'm brave enough, I'll make my own. I'll make my own VR chat avatar based from scratch.
Right, right.
Yeah, the
Um,
grand market on Time Warp VR actually is
I can only go as far as making assets and clothing for pre-made bases.
is Gumroad anything like Fiverr where you like contact and message the creator to like get?
Not really. You just send your payment information or and your email, or just simply your email if it's free, and then there you go.
Okay, I just wanted to ask. Anyways, Neil, did you have any final thoughts, comments, concerns, complaints?
I think if Pups wants to avoid homelessness, she needs to get job or disability ASAP. I think she needs therapy as well. Because 7, maybe 8 days in a row, she has threatened her life. Like, this is like severe
Mental illness.
I wasn't gonna say that, but sure. I just lost train of thought again. I'm not
I
good
think
with my
I think
words.
I just have a broken down view of I think it's just I felt like everything was just hopeless in life.
Life isn't hopeless unless you choose to make it
It
hopeless.
has felt like it for a very, very long time for me. That's all.
Right. That's fair. My final thoughts and comments, concerns, complaints. Pups, like I said, you know what you need to do. Dylan, I would encourage Chris, Pups. You know, I think you got a very stable head on your shoulders, I would say. Definitely encourage them. Like I said, I agree with Neil. You definitely should get some kind of employment. You have 3 days to think about everything that's been discussed. But after those 3 days, you either must decide you either go to disability and or you go on those apps we told you to do and you set up and like I said, maybe after 3 months, once you get that job stuff done, you start your contracting business as a freelance software or coding engineer, whatever it's called. Um, like I said, I do want to apologize earlier for my comments earlier. I know they were completely unacceptable and very unhinged. Um, as a suggestion,
It's not your fault.
I know I do feel bad about it. Like as a suggestion when it comes to like
Oh, well,
the sex stuff, like just try to be aware of your
not only
audience.
do we, not only do we need things, not only do we, sorry,
No, you're fine. Like I don't think you guys are anything like Jag or
we were
whatever, but like just use
we
common
were
sense.
we were talking.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, we were we were talking about that, and
Hmm.
oh crap, I forgot what I was saying.
No, you're fine. But the point
But
is,
it's not
mhm.
your fault because it's just not only do we need things like this corrected. Well, not only do I personally want them corrected, but we also, but I'm I believe Tal owes us an apology.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Um, we
I'm
can we can get that
although
sorted.
he did although his mentioning of either of us owning a toy is true. I have one, but I only use it for myself.
Yeah. To be honest, like I said, that
No one
goes to my
else.
comment earlier. No one should be mentioning anything sexual stuff unless it's like, like invited. You know, like I said,
And I don't really invite Tal to make comments about my relationship.
I think that's only fair, but like to kind of say this, like anyone's going to comment about your relationship regardless. So it's kind of just deciding to, what, I'm not going to focus on those
And
comments.
when I ask Tal to stop like 3 times in a row and they don't,
Yeah,
I just depart from the call.
that's the only thing I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah,
So
I asked Tal to stop 3 different times and Tal kept pushing the topic of wanting saying, "Oh, just try have sex. It's fine." I'm like, "I don't want it. No, no, no." And then I left the call.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Tal was ignoring the fact that I didn't want it.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's fair.
that's why I was like,
Yeah,
absolutely not. And I told Nil,
yeah,
and
that's
because
that,
Tal kept pushing the envelope until I told them to stop and left the call.
right. I think that's only fair and acceptable.
Oh, it was not a one-off thing. It was repetitive, and it started to get under my skin. So to avoid screaming down their throat, I left the call.
Uh, I was gonna say Nil is Tal's not a virgin, right?
No, Tal is not a virgin to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, because like I said, it doesn't matter either way. But like I just wanted to ask that just to put in perspective. Like I said, my father kind of pushes sex stuff like that. But either way, I don't think Tal should be mentioning that stuff to give Pups benefit. Tal, like Pups and Dylan credit. You shouldn't be talking about that stuff. If someone asks like one time to stop, then you should probably stop.
Yeah, and I asked, I was not asking after a while, and I almost kicked Tal from the server for that.
Okay.
It kept getting close. I was like, I was asking Tal to knock it off.
Right. I don't disagree. Like I said, I can understand the kicking part. That's actually kind of fair.
It was getting to the point where it was going out of hand, and I didn't want to deal with it. So I told Nil, and I was like, this is not a one-off thing, and I don't know why Tal has admin now when Tal is a sex pest.
Is he a sex pest, Nil?
Yeah.
He's a bit of a sex pest with me, but like he's my ex, so I kind of expect it with him.
Oh, there you go. Dylan's back. Because I just wanted to ask that because when I hear the word sex pest, it has a very negative kind of predatory connotation with it.
It's.
I was literally in call with Blixie and Tal, and they're both like, "Can I have admin?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay."
Well, I don't want admin.
It's like that. I may not agree. I don't agree with that specifically, and that's why I'm not active there anymore.
Right, but that's not the point.
But you said earlier that you weren't in the server because
Something-
you lost admin.
Okay, I don't know why I was disconnected.
Well, your computer's. Oh, I think your internet's fucked.
I don't know what's going on with my internet. Something's wrong with it.
2 minutes 30.
But anyways, like I was saying,
I don't know why Discord is reconnecting me. Anyway, go ahead.
It's basically, I'm not even. It's basically. Also, I'm tired of dealing with it. That's why I did not give Tal access to Long Time Known. It's because I'm tired of Tal pushing that envelope.
right. I think that's only fair, Neil. So we're gonna have a conversation with Talon about that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want you to record that apology so you can send it to me. I don't appreciate that envelope being pushed, and I also don't appreciate.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, that is kind of sex pest behavior. It's not like he's a predator, but like that's kind of like like something you probably should.
I thought I'd speak out about that because I'm not okay with it, and that's part of the reason I would have left your server.
Okay. Alrighty. Anyways,
I'm going to protest.
Okay.
Because I'm not okay with someone like that being in power.
Right. I'm agreeing with you. I think with that, do we have anything else?
Actually, he was given admin after you threatened to leave the server. So I'm just gonna point that out.
Okay.
Well, here's the shits. I'm not okay with someone who has repeatedly pushed that envelope having any sort of power at any server.
Okay,
Probably going to revoke his access to staff chat in my server.
That's fair. That's your server. You do what you want to do there.
Like, I don't know why you'd even. I was even reluctant to promote Aliyah in a Hyperion TV server after the shit she pulled.
Oh yeah, that's something that I also should probably talk about. She was 17, you were 21.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I really want to bring up anymore because.
Wait,
she was
what?
worse.
Wait. You were acting
It was worse
with a minor?
She was manipulative.
That's like a 4-year age difference. That is unacceptable, Pups.
I will bring up the fact that she was a piece of shit.
That doesn't change it. That's not appropriate.
Okay, so here's what happened. She manipulated me.
Did she lie about her age?
She so
Well, it's a simple
here's
yes
what
no
happened.
question. There's no maybe.
She she manipulated me to the point of that starting.
That
And
doesn't
she was
that does
basically trying to push me to that point and was like, I really did not want to start a relationship with her in the first place.
You
and
tried
who
to
was
jeopardize our relation. You tried to jeopardize our relationship by including her into it.
who what's the name of this person? You just want to
Because
try to gauge.
Alea.
Oh
those
yeah, I don't know
people
who that
talking
is.
shit about it.
Okay,
I didn't want it, but like I really didn't want it at the end.
okay, but that doesn't change the fact. Even if you didn't want it,
I was trying to find an out from it.
that doesn't change the fact of what you did. You almost compromised your relationship, number one. Number two, it doesn't matter like if she manipulated you, that's a child. Legally
But
speaking.
I did not like what she was trying to do. She was trying to manipulate me into it, and I was trying to push back and say no, I wasn't interested at the any point. I was trying to push back repeatedly and say no, 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 no. Trying to push it.
Um um
I was disinterested and
Neil,
not
do we
comfortable with it.
Neil, do we have any screenshots of that whole incident or not really?
No.
No, I think they got purged. But like
Okay.
I I was not interested in it.
Well, I hope you that's completely unacceptable to me.
I wasn't okay with it. That was the thing.
Right. But the contradiction there is you're going after what happened with you, right? But then,
Okay with any
but then, why is it that you did that if what happened to you was bad?
because I wasn't okay with any of that at all.
Right.
At all.
I'm not calling you a
I was
groomer, but I think you're ridiculous. But that sounds ridiculously irresponsible.
it was something that I wasn't okay with in the slightest. And she pushed me to a point where and I wasn't comfortable with it at all. I was trying to find out like no, I wasn't okay with it.
Check the group chat.
Give me 1 second. Someone's
Yeah,
texting me.
I saw that, but like I wasn't okay with it. That was the thing. I was not okay with it. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was probably not a good idea for you to bring up Aliyah because, well, now that's a new talking point.
Yeah, as I will say, not acceptable. As long as you didn't send pictures of your penis
I didn't.
or
Not at
or
all. No.
sorry, I didn't mean to sound offensive when I said that. Like, sorry.
That would have been the line I would not cross.
Like I said, I'm sorry if that was like offensive. My point was like as long as you didn't do anything like inappropriate, like send pictures of yourself or like say anything sexually charged. I don't
didn't.
like it.
No. The
Okay.
line I would never cross.
Okay, good. As long good, but still, like I hope that's
I wasn't
unacceptable.
okay with it at all. Like I was trying to find an out from it. I was not okay with it.
Okay. As long and like I said, as long as you're repentant of it, you don't do it again, that's all that matters to me.
Oh no.
I
Never
was
ever.
I was very much repentant of it.
Never ever.
To
I
further
wasn't okay with it.
to further prove that I wasn't okay with it either.
Yeah. I wasn't okay with it. Like I think what
she was like a fucking manipulator, and she did it again to the person, one of the people, to two people after.
Well, like I was saying, that doesn't, like I said, this kind of goes in like, are you, let me ask a question, Pups. Are you an impulsive person?
Probably, but like I don't. I
Well, like it's a yes or no question. There's no maybe. Like, would you
I don't.
consider
I don't
yourself?
go into any of past bullshit anymore. Oh,
You're not answering my question. I'm asking, are you? Would you consider yourself an impulsive person?
probably. I don't know.
Okay. Um, Neil, do you think Pups is an impulsive person?
I'd say yeah.
Dylan,
Hmm?
is Pups, in your opinion, impulsive?
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know really much about you. You know,
Honestly, what she did was what she did regarding our relationship was wildly irresponsible, and I need her assurance that she'll never turn it into into polyamorous again, because I don't think I can work with
How
two
do you think
partners.
they would, Dylan?
okay, as long as you two don't do it again, I don't care. I'll be honest, I'm very much against poly. I think poly
No,
always is
no,
doomed to
Dylan.
fail.
No, I wouldn't. Ah, damn it! Fucking mixing desk dropped.
All right.
Why the fuck would
Um,
I?
well, I'm not saying that as long as you two figure it out,
I,
that's goes on between
I
you
would
two.
not do that.
But
Jesus.
my point is like kind of this kind of ties in everything you like with wanting to ban people. You know, like you're a very impulsive person. Like, and that's why
Because
we were encouraging you to get
I'm
the
a
help that you
fucking.
need.
I know for a fact that I'm a. I'm just a waste of everything, and I'm not.
I think with that, do we have anything we need to discuss? I think we can call it meeting adjourned.
Yeah, I think it's good to call it adjourned.
I was gonna say, no, like I said, I could put, like I said, I don't mind doing the Blood Lords thing, like in a group, like a text thing. I don't want to do a call like this because, like I said, I think it's like been draining on everybody, including you and me, and Dylan, and pops everyone.
Yeah, we also need to talk to Tal next before we talk to Bloodlord.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to call a Tal or text him?
Because
I might
I
see
am
GC.
far and away not going to do what happened in 2021 again because I hated that year.
Okay, but anyways, we told you what you need to. We told you what you need to do, Dylan. As I said, give Pups 3 days to think about what we said about regarding the job stuff, and once those 3 days is up, you tell them like, have you decided to go on disability or to get a job?
Mhm.
Either way, even if you go on disability, you can still have your you can still have your side hustle of like programming. That's the benefit.
Mhm.
Enough.
I still need to
Alrighty,
stitch my tongue.
alrighty. I think with that case, class is dismissed. You pups, you know what to do, and I wish everyone have a good rest of their evening and night.
Mhm.
Alright, time to go talk to Tal then.
All right, I'll call the chat. Oh, hey there.
Hey?
Yeah, sorry about earlier for any drama.
No, it's all good.
Like I said, I wasn't like I wasn't trying to sound offensive with the whole sex and relationship thing, but like I guess I have a very different perspective because about it because um anyways I really hope Pups takes into consideration everything we've said.
Mm-hmm.
I pray to God for that. Like I said, like if I don't know about the whole thing that was discussed earlier, but
Oh,
I don't really. It's not my business.
you mean the Aliyah stuff,
Relaxing.
or
Yeah, the Aliyah stuff. Like I said, I don't think Pups is a predator, but like that's ridiculously irresponsible of them. I don't think. I'm hoping they're not like Jag kind of thing.
yeah, Jag is Jag.
Like I said, I could kind of relate with not wanting to be like my father because I struggle with that myself. But not my point.
I mean, luckily, I'll never have to worry about being like my father.
Well, yours is unfortunately dead. I'm really sorry about that.
Don't be. Shit happens.
I know, but like still, like I'm not saying like, oh, like I'm sorry, like I did something bad. I'm saying sorry, because it must have been hard to grow up without like your biological father.
I mean, the only thing that sucked about it was like kids made fun of me for it, but besides that, not really.
Hmm, fair. I was gonna say most kids. I was gonna say back in my elementary, I don't think kids would care if you have a father in the house or not. I don't really know. Um, do we? I was gonna say like if Pups acts up like this again, what are we gonna do?
Hmm. Depends on how
Um,
bad it is.
as I was saying, I don't want them to do a like I said, like I know you care more about the diaper stuff. I don't really care as long as it's a
Oh no, I don't
consenting
care about
adult.
that. That was one thing I remembered. I don't care if people are into diapers. I was friends with Doodle Tones and Jag, so
Well, Doodle Tones is easily the worst, worse than Jags. At least I think I don't know. It's hard to tell, you know, because Jag did their fetish in front of minors,
and drew minors sexually and groomed them as young
like
as
real
15.
minors, or they.
Real minors. Remember Scamos?
I remember of the name. I think I know of the name. I don't think I remember the whole situation with them. I never interacted with Jag. Um,
Yeah, I tried to be nice to Jag because they're fucking retarded, and well, look how that turned out.
that's their choice.
Like, it should not be that hard for people to just not date kids. Like, should not be that hard.
Yeah, as I was saying, I can understand if it's like a high school thing, but hey, Talon,
Ew.
hey there.
Hello.
Nil, I'll let you take it from here.
Alright, so we had the call with Pups. I'm going to give you that call later, as Pups has requested this call be sent to them. And I just need to follow up on a few things. So, what is your side of the story in full about uh, when you talked about the toys with the pups? Because
Okay, that would be
they changed their story from over a dozen times to 3 times.
okay. So that's closer to what happened. I remember like their ability to. We like they said something, and then I brought up like, do you are you sure if you actually have the ability to come, like get anyone pregnant?
Oh, were they bringing up their HRT?
I think so. It's been a while. Um, then there was the toys, and I can't remember a third one. So
Okay.
what happened with the toy conversation was they were talking about Dylan's sister's boyfriend and the poor drugging them, and then they ended up going into how she thinks she may be asexual, and how Dylan said he was okay with it. But, I wanting to be helpful friend, was going to bring up that, like, they could just, like, you don't have to have something physical necessarily, but there's other ways. And before I could expound on that any further, he already said no. And, excuse me, she already said no, and then I left it at that.
Okay, so wait, did you leave the call or did Pups leave the call?
I cannot remember that. It may have been one of those cases of they ended up having one of their moments, and then I just said "fuck this" and left.
Okay, so the stories are kind of different because Pup said that you kept pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing, and that she eventually, to not rage at you, had to leave the call.
Oh.
So we have a Rashomon situation.
Yeah, there's different events being told.
Let me ask you this. Like I said, I asked this to Neil earlier, but you're not a virgin, right? Or are you? You don't have to tell me. I just wanted to ask that question.
Okay.
Like I said, to give Pups benefit of the doubt, maybe you said something that might have felt off to them. It is possible, but I don't think you're that type of person. They called you a sex pest. I don't think you're a sex pest. You don't come across as like somebody who's like very horny 24/7.
The only one that I know that tells a sex pest with is me, but I allow it. I encourage it with me.
Wait a minute. Hold up. So the call happened on
April 19th, I believe.
Okay, April 19th. April 19th. How long have you had the bot that tells who leaves a VC?
Oh shit. I can actually just go and check.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
This call was around 52 minutes from what I saw, but it could have been longer. Keep in mind, I could be off by a day or two.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know about you, but no, does Helen come across as a sex pest? In my opinion, I don't think so.
Only one is with me.
Right. Yeah, like I said, as I will say, probably redundant for me to say this, but I know you're not this type of person, but if someone, I told Dylan this, I told Pups this, I said, you guys probably shouldn't be talking about sex around people. That goes for everybody, there's a reason why sex, religion, politics are not meant to be discussed around people.
Okay. So, let me look.
I mean, in one form or another, politics have always been a part of, Zoe.
Right. I meant more the social.
So I was incorrect. It was the 18th. Which goes against Pups' story of the 19th being when he and Dylan discussed being asexual together. So this was before Pups and Dylan had the conversation in that case.
Well, to give benefit of the doubt, memory, mind you, to give benefit of the doubt. So it happened a while, maybe a month ago. You could remember, but you don't remember every single VC call you're in,
And what it looks like is Tal actually left first. Pups didn't leave first, which is against Pups' story.
Oh, great. So we have a lie of omission.
Wait, hold up. So it's looking by the times. I left at 11:37, and then she left at 11:37.
Yeah, she left after you, which goes against her story. She's also changed from a dozen times to 3 times. So her story has been changing.
Yeah, that is an insane
Whereas
contradiction that you're going on.
Tal's story has not changed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because I know Tal tends to lead call first before Pups usually, more often than not.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like like I'll say it here. I am sorry for keep bringing up the same topic about that one Carbine person. Like I said, it's been brought to my attention. I'm trying my hardest not to talk about it. I do want to apologize about it. As I was telling Neil, I said the reason is kind of personal. I don't know if you know about it. I said, but like in the video, Loon's gonna put on maybe Neil. He asked one of my friends for naked photos. She's a year older than me.
Yes, I know
Yeah,
for him.
yeah. He asked for naked photos for her. She sells them. I don't agree with her selling them, but like he's made her feel ugly because this shows she was like, I thought that he wanted to see my body, not that he wasn't attracted to me or like I'm young.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mr. Fuck, what's his name? Thomas Karam? I forget his last name.
Carabin.
Carabin.
Okay.
That-
I mean, yeah, he wanted to he wanted to see your body, but he also likes him young.
He was
Yeah,
he was objectifying her. That's what he was doing. He just wanted a quick jerk off session.
Yeah, he didn't want to pay for them either.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, now I can see why she'd be mad from like a business point of view because like you're fucking up my bread.
Yeah, but anyways, to get back to the Pups thing.
Yeah, Pups was asking for an apology from you.
Excuse me.
Pups asked for an apology from you.
Well,
Not that I agree or disagree. I'm just saying that's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
that is a thing.
I was gonna say, you don't to give benefit of the doubt for your end. You don't need to apologize right away. You can take 3 days to
Well,
draft up something and then say it.
You don't need to apologize because I didn't do anything wrong in this situation.
Right. I don't think
Because
you did anything wrong.
checking something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Neil, do you think Talon did anything? Because I don't think he did anything bad.
Like the only thing, well, he did push boundaries. I will agree to that. He did push boundaries by bringing up the toys, but
Yeah.
I don't think
That's
it's
fair.
as horrendous as Pups is trying to make it out to be.
Yeah, it's not that egregious, but as I will say, Talon, use common sense next time.
Oh yeah, Tal and I have already
Okay,
had that
if-
conversation.
if you have brought up, okay, at that point in time, it sounded like there was a person who cannot do something because they had a deep internal trauma, about something that had horrific that happened to them while they were in the education system.
Mm-hmm.
And I simply was just stating this could be an alternative.
Yeah.
Not you need to, just take Dylan and do any sort of thing to him. Nothing like that has ever came up from me to Pups. That would be something very different. Interdicting in the relationship in like a sexual manner, that's something different. That's something that deserves an apology. Not barely getting out a fucking word because she doesn't even know what the fuck I could have been saying.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Um,
But yeah, just Tal already knows. Like I've already told Tal, like in the future, like tone it down with talking like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I said like not even like because I said like you shouldn't always talk about like um sex stuff. Like not even I like talk about sex stuff.
Brad, you are the most like holy Christian white boy there is out there. It
Yes,
is
I know.
it is nobody's surprise.
You know who else said that was Carmen Ryder.
Oh my God, no! Am I turning
Like
into her? Oh God, is my
no, I don't really
I
care.
can't do the
I don't
chipmunk
care.
voice.
But Carmen Ryder. I actually could kind of pull off her voice, like I actually pulled it off a
One
couple
sec.
times.
One sec.
Okay,
I'm
no.
gonna try.
So, Brad, you're going to have to.
Huh?
Okay,
What?
Brad, hit yourself repeatedly in the nuts with a hammer for about like a good 3 days, and then you should be able to pull off a good Kamen Rider.
No, like she said it like you just turn your octave or like your sync
Her
octaves
voice
like
is
20.
pitched up by approximately 5 tones,
I thought it was 20. She said 20.
like 5 notes. Like if you're in like A, it would be like D. Like
Like I said, I've been able to
I've done her voice modulation in FL before. Like put it back to her normal voice, and it's 5 notes.
her voice is similar to mine, at least from what I understand. But anyways, yeah, like I said, like I talked about the K, and like I have my own kinks and stuff. I took a BDSM test. I'm not gonna reveal the results of that because, like I said, it's none of
Oh shit! Here,
anyone's
let
business.
me reveal my results.
Oh, please don't. No.
Okay, fine, I won't.
Well, if you want to, you can. I just say
Okay,
But
if you're saying I can.
so how?
we don't need to discuss about it because we're focused on Pups.
But
But
like
no.
ever
Where
since
is it?
she expressed a desire not to have that discussed, it was respected, and like nothing similar to that ever happened beyond that point.
Okay.
So, or if there was an issue with it, then she could have messaged me, said, "Hey, you stupid chud, that wasn't okay." Or actually said that both Dylan and her were exploring being asexual and not just her being asexual, because those are two very different things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Let me see if I can find my results. It took it like a year ago or two.
You know what I'm really proud of? Look at my lowest 3.
Age play? Yeah, I saw that. I think Tommy did his and guess what one of his kinks was.
Age player.
Yeah, but he doesn't like age players. He likes little kids.
I love little girls. They make me feel so good.
I hate how that song's been so twisted because it's unironic. Like that song used to be a banger.
I think they were making fun of pedophiles, weren't they?
I don't know, maybe.
I know it's by Oingo Boingo.
Oh yeah, I took the test a year ago. I'm not showing that. You're gonna make fun of me for it.
Oh god, Lio and Via Queer are arguing in the art commentary community server, and I have been invited.
Who?
Oh my god! Vicky and Lio are fighting.
Who's Vicky?
I've been invited to the spectacle. Why?
Well, like to get back onto the thing. Just like I said, Talon, just like next, like I said, as long as you respect the
There will
boundaries,
not
that's
be a
nothing
next
matter.
time.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Like not necessarily just
No,
for this.
it's
but
like,
in general.
okay. Lily has never brought up anything since. So, I would never bring up anything sexual around Lily. Don't know Lily like that.
Yeah.
This is a person who's brought up multiple times, doing stuff and wanting to do stuff to Dylan and wanting Dylan to do stuff to them. So I figured at some level, this is something that they're okay with.
Yeah. I did say something kind of offensive in the chat. I'm like, I told them, like, guys, like, if you guys in a relationship, there's got to be at least some kind of sexual element to it,
So,
normally speaking.
Real quick note: is that is that server just for people in the commentary community, or?
No, it's literally just Lyle Convoy, a guy called Spoon, who I know, very recently met him, and Via Key. And I don't know why I was invited. I don't know.
No, okay. Do you have to be a content creator to join the server?
No.
I'm not joining that.
Send me the link.
You want the link?
No.
Yes.
No, don't do it, Dill. Don't do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Why were you invited?
I have no fucking clue.
Maybe he wants to talk to you. Your favorite fan. But anyways,
I know I'm live neutral, but oh my god, the second I join in there, he's gonna rage. He's gonna scream.
Do you have an alt account?
I don't use alts anymore. I only use them in my predator hunting days.
Oh,
no.
Okay, let me see here. Yeah, it figures you're non-monogamous. You're disgusting for that.
Pups is still going on about how it's a stretch to call Aliyah an ex since they were manipulated into the relationship.
Guys, stop. Take it to your DMs, please. I don't want to deal with that, but anyways, yeah. So that thanks for clearing some stuff up with us, Talon. Like I said, like next time, like not like I said, not just this, but in general, use common sense. Like I said, I don't think you're a sex pest. You're not like creepy.
Hold up. This wasn't a using common sense thing. This was actually, I was using common sense. Because if you're okay talking about something and someone is about to make you a simple suggestion.
Right. I could kind of see where you're coming from. My consistency would be, or actually, I don't have a consistency on that. That makes sense. My consistency is I think both parties are in the wrong. Like, I think they should have kept in DMs. Literally just that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a meeting adjourned. I don't really think there's much that we can talk about past this point.
Yeah, I think we got everything we
I'm
needed.
going to eat, and then later on we can maybe do some Borderlands.
Nice.
Yeah. I know you're gonna take a listen to this, Nil. I was gonna say we could save Bloodlord for later tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, we can do it tomorrow then, because I want to get in on Lyle yelling at me.
Do it. See ya.
Peace.
Alright, so any grievances that need to be laid out, just let me know.
Yeah. I would absolutely let you know that
Go on.
the bulk of the bulk of the situation from 2021 I was forced into. It was all coercion.
on, explain
Enjoy.
it.
So the full length of it is I didn't want any part of it. I was I was resisting in
On.
so I have to say this. The entirety of it was I was coerced into it, and I did not want any part of it. I was pushing back as much as I could, and I was trying to get out of it as soon as my earliest exit was.
And just to clarify, neither of us wanted any part of it, but Aliyah forced us to anyway.
Okay, well, what's the timeline? Also, it's not hard to say no when they were a minor. Now, Dylan, you were only 19. I can understand that. Pups, you were 21. That's a little more.
Yeah, I get that, but I really was not interested in doing that at all. Like, basically, I was disinterested in it. I had no vested interest in that at all.
Okay, but that doesn't explain the situation. That's no clear timeline, no manipulation tactics have been noted. None of that has.
Okay, so let me just type it in. So you have like a paper trail here. So I'll just say this. The full trail is, it only lasted from about February to December of that year.
Actually, it was much shorter. May I interject that it only lasted
I hated every part of it.
It only lasted much shorter. It lasted from March to September when we finally ended things with her.
That's still 6 months.
And it wasn't until November. And it wasn't until November when.
But I was trying to find a way out of it. I was trying to find a way out of it, like, easily.
So you were just waiting for a convenient moment instead of just putting your foot down and saying no.
I said no repeatedly.
Okay. But she wouldn't take no for an answer. She was just like Free Productions. She wasn't any better than him.
I think it was partially everyone around that person was pressuring me. You know, I was like not having it, and it was also the time frame where I was going down a downward spiral mentally.
Yeah, no, I remember that time period. That was when you were still defending Neko. When I had spent, 4 months showing you the evidence against her that you wouldn't listen to. And then you got, I don't think Dylan knows about this. Dylan, do you know that Pups and Neko were colluding together to have me kill myself on call? Because Pups was in the call where I stabbed myself. Do you not remember that? That was when you decided to switch sides, when you were on Darkest Canine. Because Nekopon... Oh, now you remember. I heard that sigh. Because Nekopon said she'd quit hacking the victims if I killed myself on call. So I went to Ray.
What?
And Ray said no. Yeah, no, this was 2021. Pups, do you not remember this? And Pups went on their darkest
Not entirely.
Not entirely. So you do remember some
Not
of it.
entirely.
And
Some of it,
so-
but I've
so then
kind of
Pups
tried to
and I-
suppress that year.
So Pups and I started talking, and Pups was recording the call to send to Necopon, where I stabbed myself with a knife in hopes to die so that she'd quit hacking the victims. That was how Pups and I's friendship
That's because-
started.
Yeah, I'd
because
rather
Neko
people not kill
manipulated
themselves. And I just don't like seeing
didn't
people
want-
die. And
that-
unfortunately,
Can anyone hear
the
me?
person in
I can
question,
hear you. Pups is just talking over you.
yeah,
Okay, can I please
I
interject?
have him vocal muted for now.
I'm somewhere else, Chris.
It's
Anyway,
I have so my situation is
Pups Dylan is trying
it
to
was
speak.
it was during deal with it.
wasn't
Go ahead.
I'm not local muted on your end, am I?
Not anymore.
Okay. Didn't Neko manipulate you into doing that just so she wouldn't get things between her and Ultimate One out of the open?
Is that directed at me or at Pups?
Pops.
Yeah.
She didn't want to get that shit out in the open, so she practically manipulated you into actually creating that group chat. Is that true, Chris?
She only had involvement in my life until 2022 when I cut her off entirely. But no, I don't know to what extent, but I created the group chat and it's lost to time because my account got compromised. But
Not only that, but I was familiar with the evidence, and I was able to cut ties with her. So it only wasn't until I convinced you to do so, because you're the only person who could listen to me.
yeah, I don't like cutting people off if I don't have to.
Or rather, the only person that you could listen to was me.
Yeah, I don't like cutting people off. That's the issue. And
I needed you to do so just so you wouldn't get into a ton of shit.
Well, there's something that Pups said that I picked up on. Pups, you initially told me around July or August, I'd need to look on my old Discord for this, that you were cutting ties with Neko and that you only shared a server where you used an alt account in 2022 to pretend to be a minor to date her on the account to get evidence she was still grooming minors. Is that what you meant when you said cut ties?
yeah, that was the Starfell Fennec incident.
Yes.
That was
But
Starfell's a different person, actually. Not an alt account. It was confirmed. Someone confirmed it as such, but it's since been lost to time.
Wait. So are you saying that the Starfell that said they were a minor that went to date Necopon was not Pups, but Pups said it was them? I just want to be clear on this.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
Chris lied that it was her.
Were they an actual minor?
At the time, I believe so.
Pups?
I just had access.
Pups?
I had access to a back channel. What?
Pups?
What?
You know me, I'm usually chill. What the fuck were you doing allowing a literal minor to date Nekopon?
I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay, you know what? They actually weren't. Starfell
What?
wasn't. They actually turned out to be a compulsive liar, and we've cut ties with them.
Okay, that makes the situation much less bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't really. Yeah, I've not really had access to much from those old chats, anyways. So I think I was only given the tip of it, and then it was lost. It was lost when I had to wipe my computers when I got compromised. I'll put it that way. So.
Was that when we both failed at hacking each other?
To an extent. But yeah. I think the 2021 to 2023 period is when I was just covering for people that were on my friends list. I would just cover for them if it was convenient enough. So it was even though that was back when I still had emotional stability back at home in the form of a four-legged animal. I don't anymore. So that's why I've gone off the deep end, is because I don't have the stability to keep going in the same way I had before 2025. 2025 was the year everything started going downhill, because that was the year Vanessa got cancer, and also the year everything went to shit. Because it's also the year my dad's mother died. And what stings is I had not seen her since the year before, and that turned out to be the last time I ever saw her alive in person. And then conveniently, I was blamed for her death. Or like every single piece of bullshit was dumped on me by my father.
If I might ask,
Wait,
how were you blamed for her death? That doesn't make a little
I don't know.
Because a majority of her family is far right, and they've chosen to target her because, I mean, just because she simply existed, just because she's trans, and they didn't support her, so.
Mom's actually a leftist, but like dad's unknown. I don't know what party he's affiliated with, if he is at all. And I don't care to, because I never really got to know him since 2008 when he threw me into the bed frame. I kind of just chose to stay low down after that because my father repeatedly, brutally assaulted me whenever I stepped out of line. So I will speak very candidly about that. One of my concussions was my father's fault. My mom refuses to take any blame in my father for that and thinks I should have forgiven him. Which isn't going to happen, unfortunately. I'm at the point where he's threatened to revoke my housing numerous times, and he's done it when I pissed him off, and he's also said that if I'm on a call and I'm trying to do chores, even though I need sound in the background to stay sane, that I'm automatically lying and I'm not doing chores. He's a fucking abuser. He's just been on the lowdown about it.
And the fact that he has Parkinson's is amplifying it, so to speak.
That, and also the fact that he's using it as more of a shield and a way to scapegoat his actions from the consequences of facing them. I'm not safe going back home. That's the issue.
Then I'm going to give you some real world advice that you're going to hate. Get a job. Support yourself.
Yeah. I just...
Look, and if you can't take Noel's advice on that, at least listen to me about it. Alright?
Okay.
You've done some pretty fucked up stuff, and I suggest you fix it.
Yeah, it's...
Even though...
Yeah.
And I get that. And I get that. People are using you from, like, left to right, but still, this needs to be fixed.
Yeah, and I will absolutely make sure that I fix whatever.
I know this may be stirring the pot, but I have a serious question for Pups as well.
What?
Do you remember back in 2021 you made an FBI report on me?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pups made an FBI report on me because I was trying to defend my 13-year-old sister from Nekopon. Why did you never make an FBI report on Neko herself?
Because she shielded any information that would have been used, and Neko made me think that you were doing shit.
I gave you the information. I gave you where she lived. I gave you her name, her email, her phone number. I gave you all of that.
I didn't think I had sufficient at the time, but Nekopon was using some sort of...
I gave you the evidence.
Yeah. She was putting... Or she was... 2021 to 2022 is the time that she was manipulating literally everyone to defend her. And she was trying to hide any evidence, and I was trying to not be involved in drama once I decided to finally side with you.
And I was trying to get Chris out of it.
I know,
because I knew it wasn't healthy for her.
I know, but after the fact, in 2022, 2023, you still didn't. I don't get this. There wasn't enough information. There were several calls that I gave you where she admitted to dating Platt, Alton, Burley. There was testimony from Burley himself. There were multiple Google Drives and group chats filled to the brim with evidence.
Yeah, it was... When I finally got a hold of reading through every single piece of evidence that was given to me, I started distancing myself from Nekopon. I didn't have a proper system at the time to fully cut people off. But I did after 2022, and I was like, yeah, screw this. And also, for the record, I am in fact ace. Not a romantic, but ace.
And it only took and I ended up being the catalyst for you reading those documents because I was getting sick of the fucking drama.
Yeah.
I know, Dylan. You left Neko before July at least of 2021. I know.
Yeah.
I know it was before that. I don't know the exact date. I just know it was before July. Because that's when we had the Facebook chat.
Yeah. I got sick of the drama. I got sick of everyone trying to control my wife, so...
Yeah. My thing is, I call myself that. So the reason I call myself my household's communal punching bag, is because my dad tends to like to throw me under the bus a lot. So, and then I'm always what.
It's not the first time anyone has thrown us under the bus.
Yeah, my dad does it all the time whenever it's convenient for him to be exonerated from a particular situation. He makes sure the blame is in some way, shape, or form shifted to me. Either that or my brother if he's present, but he's never to blame, is what my father is. He's never to blame. And as a result, I was never really taught how to be in a healthy relationship.
Remember how we used to be in our North Star server, and we didn't know about it all the time, but she turned out to be just as much of a bitch as Neko.
Oh yeah.
Do keep in mind, this was before she sold her fursuit to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone currently under the name of Air Northstar, don't go after them.
Yeah.
It's not their fault, anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really think they knew, so.
Yeah, they didn't know what they're dealing with. But yeah, I don't like being. Yeah, I got used to being thrown under the bus because it happens a lot in my household, and it's basically, who's it going to be this week? Is it going to be my older brother who gets thrown under the bus? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be someone completely unrelated thrown under the bus? Because my father is always responsible and is never responsible at the same time. That is, he's always responsible and never responsible. Someone else always is. And should we ever speak up about it in front of him, we either get screamed at, pinned, or beaten to shit. So have that. I will speak candidly about that. And believe me, I have tried to pipe up about what he's doing. And there's a reason that people getting mad at me tends to make me react in the way I do, is because there were never any healthy mechanisms for me to deal with being cornered. Never.
That's why you have to create healthy mechanisms. I used to do self-harm too. I don't do that anymore. I found different outlets. I found meditation. I have found going in the woods helps. You know, stuff like that. Music. Working out.
I'm someone who's just not seen as... Well, I don't see myself as worth it as I thought I once did.
wanting to die is one of the worst coping mechanisms anyone could ever have. And I'm glad I got rid of that.
Yeah, I got over that too last year.
Yeah, you get over it when you realize when you actually realize there are people that do care about you. So.
I mean,
yeah, only one person.
Mine's less people caring about me and just I don't know.
Only one person really does, but that's neither here nor there. I just don't really want to deal with people's. I stopped wanting to deal with people's problems, and I started locking down joins on all my servers. I'm pulling back my activity from Discord at the end of the month still. And for the posts I made on YouTube, I do expect to be thrown onto the street. I do expect to be thrown out for it.
Well, are you okay if I ask you a question that I've never asked you before? Because,
What?
Do you remember when Graceland was trying to get a lawyer to go after my sister?
Not really.
Okay.
But go on.
Why? I don't know if I have the chat logs anymore. I'd have to look. So I deleted a lot of them, but I've recently found a few on an old hard drive, which I never thought I'd find. Why were you there in the chat log encouraging it? This was back in April of 2021.
Oh. Oh, they're probably part of Neko's clique.
Graceland was part of Neko's clique at that time, yes.
Yeah, and
when Graceland talked about getting a lawyer after all of us, including my 13-year-old stepsister, you were encouraging it, which I've never asked you about. I've been cordial about it. Water under the bridge, but I feel now's the time I should probably ask you.
Well, given that everyone in Neko's clique is horrific and I've denounced them, those do not hold water still.
Well, I didn't know about it now, but thank fuck I was there to... Thank fuck I was there.
Yeah, it's...
And I understand, I know it may not hold water today, you may not have those same views. I'm just genuinely curious why you were encouraging it.
Because I don't know.
Okay.
I think I was just not told enough it was like something, not enough information. Okay. Or I just wanted to have information known. But I just stopped trusting Decopon after so long.
Mm-hmm.
I like having the information on the table, but again, I don't hate you and I don't hate your group.
I
can't.
But you're not gonna do that to Nil or their family anymore, are you?
I have not defended Necopon since 2022, and that was probably around February-ish.
What I'm saying is you're not gonna be negative about it anymore, right? Or encourage any of it?
Oh, fuck that. No. Again, I don't hate Nil. and I don't hate Nils group.
Good to know.
I will give Pups praise on one thing, though. When it came to the hacking, Pups said that they never would hack minors.
Yeah, it's against
though-
my it's
Too much
against
of
my
a-
own code. It's against my own code of
Morality?
rules. Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't hack anyone under the age of 18. And if I do hack people, let it be known they have done something to a kid before.
Either that or they've hurt a majority of people.
Mm-hmm. They've either the only time I would hack someone or get into their shit is if I is if they did something to a kid, or if they had done some, or if they were actually doing more harm than good being online. Which is exactly why I hacked Maeve. Or didn't hack Maeve, I got his information and I doxed him. I doxed Maeve.
Yeah, Maeve, he was Energist, he groomed, and a few other people.
And tried to groom Dylan. You know, Dylan's an adult at the time.
Yeah.
I basically said,
Yeah, that's why I want to get ID just so I can confirm my age, because all I can say is don't let my fucking voice fool you. Don't let my fucking voice fool you, because and if someone just tells me that I sound young for my age, that sounds like a red fucking flag to me.
yeah, he's 24. Beast.
Yeah, but I will admit
Fucking
Dylan
hell,
does
he's
sound
my
like
age.
he's... Yeah,
I hate that he's my age.
Dylan sounds like he's 15, though. I will admit to that.
Yeah, that is the only thing I will say, but yeah.
I sound like it, but I'm not actually 15. I'm 24.
Yeah. And I tend to. I mean, you saw how quickly I dealt with Tommy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Racked up his account in about 2 minutes after it was reported and confirmed. I banned him for life.
Yeah. I remembered he was a little too enthusiastic about an old online game I found.
Which was?
No. It was one of those old revival servers it was one of those old revival servers before I stopped playing it. I forgot what it was a revival server of.
Well, he'd be perfect for Club Penguin.
Okay, actually, yes. Thank you. That's what that was. I didn't know what it was a revival server. Turns out it was Club Penguin.
I made that joke because Club Penguin says CP with the acronym, and you know what? It makes a lot more sense why. He was probably looking at that site for something different, and he just enjoyed the game.
Yeah. You know how there's these gamers that literally just that when something new happens in a game, they just come in, get the new thing, and then leave?
Oh yeah, and then they wait for the next update.
Oh yeah. That's what I do with the Clipping Rebel server. I don't really care much to talk to anyone there.
Also, Bloodlord decided to go on one of my posts, and I hit him.
I don't really care much about anyone there, just the items.
Oh, District Kid
I,
keeps releasing my claims. This is nice.
Yeah. I actually had to hide Bloodlord because he's not. He was never really conducive to a discussion with me at all.
Yeah.
But like just so you know, every time that I have to deal with people that are kids in my server, I just start dreading the day more and more, just so you know now.
Well, there's an easy fix to that. Don't allow kids in your server. I don't allow kids in my server.
I set it to approval only for join, but of course I locked it down and it can't be joined anymore now. So it's abandoned. Or they abandoned this account basically. On paper.
Well, if you decide to get back, I think we're actually going to enforce it. I think this time we're actually going to enforce the fact that Hyperion TV is a full 18+ server.
Yeah, it's once any new people that join are required to not be minors. Like, I'm not going to allow them to get past any point of entry.
And unfortunately, anyone will have to be removed.
Their join will be rejected immediately. I'm not dealing with people that are
anyone that's still in the server that is under that requirement will have to be removed. Even though Hyperion TV is usually a safe space to share content and everything, I think it's for the best that we'd rather have the site be viewed and shared by adults.
Yeah, even though the site itself has access via anyone who is of the COPPA requirement, the Discord itself is going to be limited. Okay. And any future joins will have to be vetted by a staff member who knows the person's age is above 18, because I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
Because I really have stopped tolerating it for years.
Well,
I think, but yeah.
Oh, Chris. As a matter, to continue on with this, I suppose you owe somebody in this group chat an apology.
Which and who?
It's not me. They'll have suffered quite a lot since they became our friend. At this point, I think they deserve an apology.
Check the group chat. Or not. It's just, there you go.
I understand if Pups cannot be forgiven.
It's not that Pups can't be forgiven. It's that for the last few months, every time the most minor inconvenience happens, Pups goes right off the deep end. I can't keep putting up with that. I can't keep putting up with being sympathy baited, sad fished, suicide baited. And in Discord, in my server, changing your nickname constantly to berate people in the server itself, your bio, which I have screenshotted.
Yeah. I think I just truly lost
everybody else, and I mean
I think
everybody.
I think what happened was I think I just truly lost my way. I am still going to be getting therapy soon.
I'm the only person you have left who is going to send you back your way.
Yeah.
I was the only person who convinced you to leave, to get away from Necopon. Let me be the one to correct everything.
Okay.
If anything happens, don't flood Nil about it.
Not that I can anymore.
Well, you have to figure, I've put up with quite a lot when it came to, especially 2021, 2022. Right? I've overlooked that. It's in the past. It's whatever. Those patterns are re-emerging. So while I'm not exactly a fan of it, I don't hate you. I don't even dislike you. I don't think, for the time being, we can coexist. I don't think that's good for either of our mental health. I don't think that's good for keeping a stable friendship. I don't see that happening going forward.
If you ever really want to reach out to me, I'm very easy to find.
Or either that, or since I'm the only one who has a link between you and Chris, I can reach out to you.
Yeah. I'm just, and if you want to know more about the situation where I thought I was going to lose my housing, my dad threatened it 3 times a week. He threatened to pull my home 3 times in a week. And I keep getting scared that I'm going to lose my housing and have no one in my corner to go to live with.
Which just reinforces my earlier statement that you need to get a job as soon as possible, if not at least disability. Is sign up for Social Security, that's, number one.
Mm-hmm.
To get either of those.
Yeah. I'm just scared of my father because he has the ability to, 1, pull my housing, and 2, completely fuck me over and put me on the street.
Well, your mother would also need to agree to that.
Dad pays primarily for the utilities.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything. They're conjoined as a couple. They would both legally need to say you're out of the house. If one says you're out, one says you're in, you're still in.
Yeah, it's for my situation. It absolutely depends.
That's why I started telling Kristen DMs that she needs to start standing up for herself.
I can't against basically a glorified bully that has parental figure powers, but can also pull my housing at any time for any reason and convince mom that it's just to not have me homed.
If I move in, you won't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. I'm just I got used to the amount of times I've been. Yeah. I just don't like dealing with my family.
Well, is there anything else that we need to discuss?
I don't know. Because you know you can reach me through Dylan if you need to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
But just note that I was very easily manipulated back in 2021 to 2023. I just started using the block button a lot more and just not letting people back into my life at that point as of 2023. So shit's changed, and it's just usually it's because I've been betrayed so many times. It's now I don't bother dealing with you once you're out kind of situation. But I might reach out. But if you need something out of me, reach out to Dylan. He'll get a hold of me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm not hostile to you, no. But just don't put information that just isn't true out there about me.
What did I put what did I put about you that wasn't true?
I think Dylan could explain. We both saw it. It was your premiere.
And what's untrue about that?
I don't.
Well, you made it sound like Chris was an awful person, which she wasn't.
Okay, but what did I say at all that was untrue? Because for months, Pups was indeed abusing power in the server, going after specifically right-wing people. At the slightest of criticism, she would indeed threaten self-harm or to end her own life. Mm-hmm.
But you said something about me being a groomer, which is not true at all. It's
yeah, no.
not the slightest.
After speaking with Brad, we did come to the conclusion that there probably is a chance that you are if you were dating a 17-year-old at 21. It does fall under age of consent because Aliyah was over 16 and you were within a 5-year age gap, Romeo and Juliet laws. However, Aliyah was still a minor. You were still an adult. I don't buy this manipulation bullshit because the adult always holds power. Even if the child is being relentless in trying to get into a relationship, you have the power to say no. You have the power to block. You have the power to tell people about it publicly, what she's doing, which to my knowledge you did none of.
And it only took 6 months until I had no choice but to be the one to put my foot down.
And the aftermath is true too, because after this call, you continued suicide baiting me in DMs, threatening self-harm. You were talking trash about the members of my server. You were putting public tantrums on your Discord. You accused myself of getting hold of your private information and tracking you with no evidence because you got a lukewarm message from the hospital. Yeah, no, Dylan, did you not hear about that?
I saw it, but I didn't. I saw it, but I don't believe it was you.
I didn't believe it was Nil. I thought it was someone else.
Yeah,
but I didn't have. I
continue.
I went down the list of people I had added in your server, and it was next to none. So I thought you would be the point of contact to do that, to tell people don't try, because I didn't ask for it. And
yeah, which is why you also went into my YouTube comments about it. Perfect.
Yeah.
The great evidence, by the way, Dylan, was their Pups is on an email list for a hospital, and the hospital wrote a newsletter, just a general newsletter, that was like 1 paragraph long and had 4 bullet points. And Pups said it was in detail and on the nose about what happened a week and a half ago on my server. It
wasn't until this afternoon when she forwarded it to me, so I confronted her about it.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't want to deal with things that are.
So, it wasn't Nil who incited it, and it certainly wasn't Brad who incited it. It wasn't me. So
it was a general
if
newsletter.
none of us, what?
It was just a general newsletter. That's all it was from the hospital.
And also, I was dealing with a lot like this week, so that's it. That's all I'll say on it. Let's just say this. The 2021 to 2023 period is when I could be bullied into anything, or I could be bullied into compliance into anything, because that was when my father's abuse was at its highest.
Okay, and I understand that, but to keep the current topic, I need to know, where did I lie in any of what I said?
They weren't even lying, Chris. They were telling the truth.
Because
this is why you need to watch the whole thing.
Because I was not interested in anything with that person. So,
this is why you should be watching the whole video. I made that mistake in late 2019.
I should mention that the reason the full call is going up is Pups in the YouTube comments told me to upload the full call because I was apparently cutting context.
It was only a tail end that was up. And
well,
which I uploaded
that
because
was
you kept spamming my not my DMs, but you kept going to people to get in contact with me when I had no reason to want to speak with you, and then you went in my YouTube DMs, or not YouTube DMs, YouTube comments, and continued spamming. So I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
The preview was the end of the call, but that was just that. It was a preview. It was going. The whole call was going to be posted anyways.
Yeah. I wasn't interested in anything with that person, so. I was pushed into a mold I did not fit. And the part that was left out was I would not have done it again because I wasn't interested in the first place.
No, the entire 8 minutes is you saying she manipulated me. I would never do that again. So I don't know where that's left out.
If you had stood up to your dad sooner, Chris, you would have said no.
If I stood up to him, I wouldn't have harmed him.
It's just the problem is that you let people under your skin too easily. You shouldn't let them see that they get to you. You shouldn't let them under your skin, and you certainly shouldn't let them see that they got under your skin.
Yeah.
Because that's what led you to encourage that shit left and right.
I wouldn't have rolled away. I would have just dodged it completely, but no. My dad's fault there.
While your father can influence some of your actions, I don't think your own actions are your father's fault. That would be
He made it so that I could that I wasn't able to push back so easily, and I felt like I had no say in anything at that point. Just like shit, you know?
Well, I'm going to hop out. You guys both have a good rest of your day. I'll see you around sometime in the future.
Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right.